All right, there we are. Welcome, gentlemen, to session 20. Can you believe session 20?
Feels like only the last couple weeks ago that I was started playing, but
That
here
it,
we
it
are,
just
session
for
20.
some reason it just feels like session 2
Yeah,
for Max.
it's
Yeah,
incredible.
so as we always do, we'll get started tonight with a little recap. I've warned the gang here that it's a bit of a long one, so get comfortable and we'll get caught up with what went on in the last session. So, as the last session began, it was early morning on the first day of the first Trigon of Elok's influence, a day known as the Festival of Death. A day to give thanks for the summer's bounty and to ask for favor and protection from the three as winter approached. The party had gathered on the Tionchar Manor house porch for breakfast, along with Captain Barlor Norwood, Lieutenant Rycroft Crestbranch, Lieutenant Arden Galecrest, and Anton Tionchar. A big day lay ahead for all as the group began final discussions on their plan for the day's activities. The group decided that their plan from the night before would be good. This included Landis creating a Leomund's tiny hut that would protect the wine and give the others a place to fall back to if things got out of hand. The only drawback would be that Landis would have to remain in the hut during the visit. Captain Barlor assigned Lieutenant Arden to stay with the party during Maggie and the Githinthor's arrival. Captain Barlor and Lieutenant Rycroft would continue to oversee the patrols around the winery and the Whitfield farm. With their plans set, the party spent the rest of the morning moving the wine to the clearing, where the portal would appear, and make their own personal preparations for what lay ahead. Later in the morning, Brell Courtland arrived as promised to Nightingale and Landis. Brell was confident that he would be able to detect when the portal was going to open. This would at least ensure the portal's opening was not a surprise. As the afternoon arrived, the party positioned themselves in the clearing to wait. 1 hour turned to 2, and finally Brell gave the warning that the portal was beginning to open. Oh, I've lost my place. Okay. A tall black stone obelisk began to appear exactly where it had appeared before. Once the obelisk was fully formed, the rest of the portal appeared around it with a roar. The second the portal was open, black smoke began to billow out. This was not a good sign. 3 figures emerged from the smoke: a human woman and a Githinthor helping a second Githinthor to walk. Douglan immediately recognized Maggie and began to run towards her. Seconds later, 3 Githyanki warriors emerged. Oh my god, I'm having a hard time following my spot here today. Seconds later, 3 Githyanki warriors emerged from the portal, and the fight began. The injured Githinthor was General Verimok Vith. Anton recognized Verimok to be the Githinthor that he met with every year to give the Alum wine. Nightingale, disguised as Corey Fairbanks, ran to assist Verimok. Verimok quickly relayed to Corey that the fortress on the other side of the portal was lost to a Githyanki attack. He asked that the portal be permanently closed by destroying the obelisk that acted as the portal key. This would keep the Githyanki from using it to enter Tionchar Winery. The battle at the portal opening intensified as a huge dragon-like creature with a rider emerged. The party did their best to fend off the attack while trying to inflict damage on the obelisk. It was a tough slog as the Githyanki inflicted both physical and mental damage with each hit. Landis feared for his friends and made the difficult decision to drop the protection of the hut to join the battle. Anton remained behind with the wine as Landis raced into the fray. As the battle continued, the party began to hear a horn signaling a call to arms for the vanguard. No sooner had this call been made when several heavily cloaked figures began to appear in the forest around the clearing. The figures began firing upon the party with crossbows, quickly creating a second front in the battle. One of the cloaked figures appeared a short distance from Anton and the Elam wine. The figure took aim at Anton and fired. The bolt tore through Anton's chest, killing him instantly. As Landis arrived at the portal, he summoned great bolts of lightning, killing the dragon creature and destroying the portal key. The portal closed with the same roar it had opened. The party was able to quickly finish off the remaining foes and capture one of the cloaked figures from the forest. As the battle ended, the party quickly gathered around Anton. After a few fruitless attempts to revive him, it confirmed their fears. Anton was dead. Lieutenant Arden quickly dispatched a vanguard soldier to ride to the city to see if Commander Rainier could arrange for a cleric to attempt to bring him back. The rest of the party moved Anton's body into the manor house. Landis and Lieutenant Arden headed to the vanguard camp to meet with Captain Barlor to give him an update on Anton. The captain explained that the winery and the Whitfield farm had come under attack, presumably by Dooms, shortly after the portal opened. The vanguard had easily defended against the attack, killing most of the attackers, while a few remaining fled into the forest. The vanguard had captured 2 of the attackers and were preparing to interrogate them. Captain Barlower invited the party to join in this interrogation. Back at the manor house, Corey began his own interrogation of the cloaked figure they had taken prisoner. He decided to play the part of Duran Whitfield and explained that he wanted to get out. The cloaked figure, who introduced himself as Newlin, told Corey that there were tunnels in the cellar of one of the buildings at the Whitfield farm they could use to get away. Corey took Newlin and escaped out a back window. Using a small illusion as cover for Newlin, the two headed to the Whitfield farm. As Landis and Lieutenant Arden arrived back at the manor house, Lafferty became extremely agitated with the situation as he tried to deal with Anton's death and the events around him. He demanded that Lieutenant Arden get vanguard soldiers to follow Corey before they were grieving another lost friend. As the agitation grew, Lafferty blacked out and fell to the floor. When he came to, he found himself inside of the Void Hunter circle. Across from him stood the shadow creature. It warned him of the dangers of consuming too much void water and how it had tried to scare him away before he had become gripped by its power. Then the shadow creature faded away, leaving Enebus standing in its place. Enebus told Lafferty that he too had consumed the void water and been pulled in by its power. Enebus declared that only time would tell if this was a good or bad thing. With Enebus's final words, Lafferty was once again back in the manor house. The party decided that they did indeed need to follow Corey. Lafferty had previously sent Pez to follow Corey, allowing the rest of the party to catch up quickly. As they arrived, Corey had Newlin in a magical hold and had directed several vanguard soldiers to check on the location of the tunnels that Newlin had given him. As the 3 soldiers entered, there was the sound of an explosion and a dust cloud erupted from the cellar. Only one of the soldiers made it out of what appeared to be some kind of trap. The party left instructions to begin digging for the tunnels. They collected Newlin and headed back to the winery. At the manor house, Douglan and Maggie had a chance to speak for the first time as they sat with Anton in the main room. Maggie revealed to Douglan that Jackie and the children were not gone. Instead, their spirits had been pulled into the Between through the Gith portal, the result of which meant they were neither dead nor alive. Maggie said that the Githinthor believed that they could be brought back through the timeless temple, where they would become whole again. Douglan knew in his heart that this was true, for he had never once felt that they were really gone. As today's session begins, it is late afternoon on the first day of the first Trigon of Elok's influence. The party has just all come back to the Tionchar manor house, along with their doomed prisoner, Newlin. The events of the afternoon hang heavy in the room. Brell Courtland enters from the dining room where he has been waiting with the Githinthor and addresses the group.
Could you repeat that whole thing, Colin? I wasn't.
Not a problem. Just give me a chance to start over there. Any questions, comments, concerns, gents, from the recap? A lot of information there.
Yep.
You're muted, Barry. There you go. What? You're good, Barry?
Yeah. So it matched up perfectly with my notes.
Perfectly to your notes. Excellent.
Mine too.
That is a fantastic lie. Thanks, guys. All right, let's get a little ambiance going. So Brell Courtland has been in the big dining room with the two Githinthor that arrived through the portal. And Brell comes out and he just basically says, "Gentlemen, I have been tending to the needs of our Gith friends to the best of my abilities. I have patched up their wounds. I do believe both will be okay. They are quite a tough lot, those two. The general has asked when it is an appropriate time, he would like to speak with you, but he does understand that you are dealing with the Anton situation now, and they will be as patient as necessary."
Or
Yeah.
our group's back at right?
Everybody's just arrived back at the manor house, correct? Yep.
What do the Gith look like?
What do Gith look like in general, or these Gith?
Just kind of in general. Like, this is obviously Tionchar Wineries had their interactions with these people, but most people don't, I would imagine, right? Like, they're kind of alien.
Correct. They're very alien looking to most people.
Yeah.
Anton has had dealings with the general, and he was familiar with them, but yeah, they would look quite unusual to most.
And the captain is off with the rest of the Vanguard for now, right? It's just
Lieutenant Arden right now is in the room with them. Captain Barlor and Lieutenant Rycroft are still dealing with ensuring that the attack is over and everyone is accounted for. And they've also got an interrogation to attend to, which they've asked you to participate in.
Is the general of the Githinthor here, General Verimok?
The general is in the dining room. That's who Brell was referring to.
Okay.
So the general and his well, you haven't met him yet, but
yeah,
the Githinthor warrior who was carrying the battle, you may remember him.
Right. Yes.
He gets a name now.
Yes, he was awesome.
He was phenomenal. So, Douglan, are you still with Maggie at this point?
You guys are you're all in the main room. You've just sort of returned there. Somebody's got the death grip on Newlin. You guys have just come back in from having walked back from the Whitfield farm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think
you've had your moment.
And Maggie have had their, moment, if you will, but they know that there's still work to be done. These guys are trapped on this side, and the last stronghold seems to be under attack, and the other in between. So, yeah.
I reckon we ought to hear what this General Verimach has to say.
I believe you have the right of it, Corey.
Corey will grab like an old dish rag or something laying around and make sure that our Doom has his mouth full. I don't want him blabbing to everybody about my disguise.
About your disguise.
Yeah. And we'll follow Brell into the other room, I think.
Into the dining room?
Yes.
So, General Verimach and the gentleman that was assisting him to come through, who you haven't quite met yet, they're just seated at the table. They both took a pretty good beating, so they're just resting, drinking some water, and waiting for an opportunity to speak with you. So the general stands as soon as you enter the room, and he sort of waits for everyone to get in, and he says, I want to begin by saying that we are very sorry for your loss. Anton was a good friend to us, and it is very both concerning and hurts our souls to know that he has passed.
Well, we hope it's temporary.
We have sent for a cleric from the Vanguard in Evandor, but they have not arrived yet, and we've yet to see the abilities, how far exceeding our abilities are to be able to bring back Mr. Tionchar.
Indeed, it is difficult to work against the will of the three, but it must be done at times when we are not ready to lose those important to us.
General, I do believe you had something to tell us that was of importance.
I do. Please, everyone, join me at the table. I have much to share with you.
Sit.
First of all, and he looks towards Douglan. Douglan, I would just like to say that it has been a pleasure fighting beside your daughter. She's become a fantastic warrior and was an absolute powerhouse when we needed it. You have trained her well.
Is there dust in here? And I thank you as well, General, for looking out for her.
Oh,
On the
she
other
really
side.
needed looking out for, I can assure you.
Yeah. If I know Maggie. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate the words.
I do believe that maybe introductions, since I am not familiar with all of you, would be in good order before we continue this discussion. I will begin. I do believe you've all heard my name already. I am General Verimach Vith, and I am the leader of the Githinthor. You may have met Elok. He is one of my captains, and as you saw in this battle, a very valuable man to me.
Well, you know me as Douglan, and he points to this is Lafferty, who is kind of looking off into space. He's still in shock. And he kind of turned, yes, yeah, Lafferty Jones, pleasure to meet you both.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Lafferty.
Ori Fairbanks, friend to Tionchar Winery, and my companion Landis.
It is good to meet you, Corey.
I am Lieutenant Arden Galecrest, with the Vanguard dispatched here to oversee your arrival, as it were. It was an honor to fight amongst such valiant warriors as yourself.
Lieutenant Arden, I apologize for what transpired on our arrival. I'm sure that was maybe not completely unexpected, but certainly unwanted. We can talk more at another time about the exact details of the battle on our side.
Oh, don't you worry yourself too much there, General. I think Lieutenant Arden had a good time.
It was terrifying. I'm just going to be upfront with you, but we held our own. Didn't lose a man during the Gateway battle, anyways. And yes, to be honest, am not looking forward to more, but we'll do as duty requires.
As any good warrior does, yes.
Now, General, you did have some information. Sorry to push you. We've got other requirements seeking our attention as well.
Yes. Lack and I have been discussing what our next move should be. And we know that the wine is here and ready, but I think we have a new plan. What we would like to do is to transport the Elam wine to the Timeless Temple. My remaining warriors will regroup there. It was our fallback plan. Our side of the Timeless Temple cannot be accessed by the Githinthor. So it creates a bit of a safe place for those of my people that still remain. I am hopeful that we will be able to muster enough remaining warriors to continue our fight, but we have taken heavy losses in the last several days. Are you familiar with the Timeless Temple?
Landis will be like, I did some recent reading about the Timeless Temple. Do the Githinthor have a relationship with the monks at this temple?
We do. There is a lot of background, I do believe, may help you all into better understanding the situation. I'm sure in time Maggie would have shared it with you, but I think it would be best to understand what has been transpiring in the between for us. Many decades ago, all Gith served Newell. I'm going to make an assumption that you all understand that the between is Newell's domain. At some point, the Githinthor clan were persuaded by someone, and we do not understand who, to turn against Newell and all of the other Gith. Now, as you know, Newell believes in balance, and he would not get involved in the situation. It was left to the other Gith clan to try and stop the Githinthor in their plot to take over the between for themselves. We have been fighting this fight since then, and through an almost a coincidence which turned into a very good coincidence. Many, many decades ago, our people escaped through a portal that opened near Tionchar Winery. It was in the exchange back then that we learned of the power of the Alem wine in the Between. It acts differently there than it does here in your world. We have been returning once a year to collect more wine that has allowed us to continue our fight against the Githinthor. But we are the remaining clan. They have destroyed all the others.
How many do your clan number?
Before the latest attacks, we still numbered close to 1,000. The Githinthor are nearly double that. But with the help of the Alem wine, we are able to put up quite a fight against them. And they have avoided as many direct conflicts as possible, choosing more to attack in short bursts against our people. But in this most recent attack, they have now harnessed these dragon-like beasts, and we were unable to keep them from overtaking the fortress that protected the portal that opened at Tionchar Winery. There are only 6 portals that the Gith have access to enter Emathan. One of them has now been destroyed. There is a portal at the Timeless Temple. There is one in the Wilds, one in the Barrens, one in Easterly, and one in what you refer to as Blackmire. The Githinthor do not have a good relationship with the monks of the Timeless Temple, and as such, the monks have used glyphs to protect them from accessing that portal. As such, we have decided to use it as our fallback point. Any of my warriors that remain will require several weeks to regroup there. At that time, I am hoping that we can move the wine through the Timeless Temple back into the Between.
Is Brell still in here with us?
He is.
Can I ask you something general?
Of course.
You say that these Githinthor have eliminated all other clans in your world. How are things going to change once you go back? If you keep losing ground like you have, what's the plan?
As one warrior to another, Douglan, I can put it no more simple than we need to stop losing ground. This is why it was vital that we got this shipment of the wine so that we could go back on the attack against the Githinthor instead of allowing them to slowly pick us off 1 or 2 at a time.
I'd also like to add that it seemed a little bit too much of a coincidence. Their attack planned on both sides. If we don't get rid of the fox in the hen house, it's not going to be much good going back.
I would agree. We have known for some time that the Githinthor have people in Emathan that they are in regular contact with. Unfortunately, we have never been able to determine who or how they communicate with these people.
Perhaps if there's so few of you remaining, could you not bring your rest of your clan through the portals and carve a life out here, and perhaps we could work to destroying these remaining links so that the Githyanki remain on their end, I suppose, for the rest of time.
With all due respect, Lieutenant, would you want to give up your home?
It's fair, I suppose.
But not a bad thought there, Lieutenant.
It is our intention to eliminate the Githyanki so that we may return to a peaceful service of Newell. It is a battle that we must win.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, General, where's this portal in the Barrens? Do you know where it's located? If I showed you a map, would you be able to point whereabouts that be?
I do believe I could, yes.
That might be handy to know.
It is a little difficult to pinpoint where portals open in Emathan, as there is no relationship to where they open in the between. But I do believe I understand roughly where all of the portals appear in Emathan. I personally have only ever come through the portal at Tionchar Winery. I have visited the Timeless Temple, but I have never traveled through into Emathan.
Using silent image, could I recreate a map on the table? I'm sure Nightingale has seen a map of Emathan before.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay, I'll do that, and I'll ask him to roughly point out whereabouts he thinks the Barrens. And I'll be like, I only bring this up, fellas, because when we were in Alagon, I heard about the armies coming down from the north, actually veering off of their path towards Easterly and seem to be settling down. And perhaps if my thoughts on this are correct, let's hope they're not lining up with that portal to be going through and maybe coming out somewhere else. It's a long shot, but I gotta ask.
So Barry, you're talking about the Barrens.
Yes,
right?
The Barrens.
Okay.
What did I say? Did I say something?
You said the Wilds, I think.
Sorry, Barrens.
Maybe I heard. I'm just gonna.
The Barren Wilds. It's right in between.
Just gonna position the map here for the studio audience. just so Grandma see it. You all got that one shared it, I assume?
Yep.
All right, so he kind of looks over your map for a while, and then he says he believes that the portal that opens in the Barrens is... That's really strange. I can't make a pointer on this map. So where it says the Barrens on the map, just north and west of that, there's sort of a treed area. He believes it's in that area of the Barrens.
Is there a method that you use on your end to open these, or do they just occur? that you time it?
There is a process that we use in tracing glyphs, ruins that are carved into the obelisks that will open the portal.
See.
The portal can only be opened from the between into Emathan. The portals cannot be opened in Emathan to enter the between.
General, you said that they also have this ability, or is it just you?
All Gith are able to trigger the portals.
It's a very serious security threat to Emathan when you think about it.
Well, I think we can. Yeah.
Sorry. Please continue.
No, I'm sorry, General. Just some things are coming to me. Of course, that knowing that all Gith can access these portals, and the strange news that is coming from the Barons about orcs being able to work together, led by some mysterious. Could they have breached through the Barons? Could they be behind this?
I apologize, Lafferty. I am not familiar with this orc situation you are referring to.
Perhaps General Verimok should accompany us with the remainder of our interrogation of the doomed prisoners we have. Perhaps he might have insight, maybe routes of questioning that would reveal more information that we haven't thought of.
I am willing to assist in any way I can.
Sorry, we haven't told you, General, but it seems that it feels like there was a coordinated effort from a group on this end to interfere with everything that happened with the gate opening. And it just feels much too coincidental, or too much to be coincidence. Sorry.
I do understand the very little, but some information regarding the Dooms here in Emathan and their involvement with the Githyanki. In speaking with Brell, he filled us in a little bit on the situation that has been transpiring here at the winery. I would have to agree with you, Lieutenant, that for the attack on our side, the opening of the portal at the prearranged time, and the attack from the Dooms on your side, there is far too much coincidence in it.
Perhaps, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Perhaps a ruse of some kind. Perhaps we all talk openly about our next plan of attack, but instead we prepare for nefarious things to happen. Landis, what do you think? Is there a way that maybe we could discuss something that, only trusted circle would know about? We just started talking openly about the Elm Wine going back to the Timeless Temple. Well, perhaps that's not what we should do. Perhaps that's what we should say we're going to do and then do something else, because they seem to know exactly where we're going, when we're going, and they attack in force. This needs to be...
I see where you're going with that, Lafferty, but if I'm not mistaken, only the people in this room know what the Gith's next plan is, to get the wine to Tionchar over to the Timeless Temple. Now, if we begin to, say, leak this plan out and about, you begin to add a lot of extra moving parts to a very simple structure. There's less than a dozen of us in this room now that know what's going to happen, and it might be better just to keep it that way. if the Dooms are getting information, this is a very powerful organization. My grandfather has been working with them, and unfortunately, he's had to. And Lieutenant Arden, you'll have to excuse your ignorance in this matter. It's something that has been going on, and the rest of my comrades know what I'm speaking of here. But my grandfather recently has had to go into hiding. Now, the Dooms have a lot of magic, Lafferty, and they could be getting information in a numerous ways, much as we could get information. They could have a simple acquaintance who doesn't know he's giving them information. So I think it's best if we keep our plan to move the wine from Tionchar to the Timeless Temple to those confined into this room. And Lieutenant Arden, I'd appreciate if you could perhaps keeps us on the down low from anyone else in respect to us not knowing if there is a mole out there or not.
Of course. Seems prudent.
I mean, we feel like you're a PC. We just have that feeling about you. So we kind of trust you.
Oh, shit just got meta.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
So I would like to understand amongst the group here. Do you support my request in moving the Alum wine to the Timeless Temple a few weeks from now? I do not wish to move it earlier. I do have fears that potentially the Githinthor will make a final attack against us and the wine by traveling through the easterly portal.
How far away is this temple?
It's just outside Alanon, which is probably 10 days ride from here, maybe less.
Outside Alanon.
Allegon.
The
Alagon,
kingdom
sorry,
of
Alagon.
Alagon.
See.
Yep, kingdom of Alagon.
I would suggest if secrecy is of the utmost importance, then this should be a disguised caravan and minimally accompanied.
Perhaps this could be the ruse that Lafferty was alluding to. We send several different packages.
Diversions.
Only tell a select few and see what happens. Just a thought.
Something we could think about for sure. But I agree with General Verimach. The wine staying in Tionchar is the farthest it can be from a portal, which the Githinthor can access. So keeping
Indeed.
it here, and with the Vanguard support at Tionchar currently, it is very well protected.
Because they headed off the Dooms, right? There was another attack and they fended it off. Okay.
Just a few got through during that battle. That's what happened. Kind of got through the net.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Through the net, yes.
I do think, Lafferty, you and I should work on this distraction plan, because letting them know the wine is moving could be a big enough fish to draw some attention for sure. Just not letting them know where it's going.
Yes, indeed. We need to also make it a specific circle that knows. Let's take 3 different shipments that go. Select few only know about shipment 1. Select few only about shipment 2 and 3, and see if we can't discover something that way. Tell me something, Lieutenant. Has there ever been thought of you sending some of the Vanguard back through to help out the Githinthor? Seeing as the Dooms and the Githinthor seem to be one and the same, if you will.
To go through to the other side.
To help them.
I mean, I suppose if the threat to Emathan becomes that dire, then that would be a last resort. But to send our people through to an unknown place of space just seems terribly dangerous. Not to mention, if I'm starting to understand things correctly, the Githinthor become incredibly empowered by this wine whilst in their region. I don't know if that would work for our people.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Of course. I mean, I my concern is with my men, of course.
Douglan looks to Maggie and back to you.
Oh, yes.
Insinuating the going through the portal is something that can be done.
Sorry, it's been a trying time.
He kind of looks back at you like, okay. No judgment, just think about it.
I apologize. I completely forgot about your daughter. Much has happened.
Do you want me to play Maggie, or is she not in the room? Because I don't know if I can do the third. Yeah. I know you got the DM hat with everybody, but she's in the room with us, right?
She is. Yep. She's there.
I propose that should the time come, that would be a discussion that would involve Miss McCain here and the captain, just so we have a better understanding of how this all might work and what to expect. Any training that might need to happen. How long? I'll ask her, I suppose, how long she was over there.
I was gone just over a year, about almost a year and a half. But much of my training I received was with my father, since I was big enough to club him with a stump.
Still got the scars to prove it.
Clearly not hard enough.
And
General, I've got an overarching question here about the Githinthor. Is there any salvation to be had with them folk? You said someone had convinced them to step into a different light than Newell's. Do you think some of them might be just following higher ups, and if we can sever that tie, they might come back to common sense?
I wish that I could say yes, but whatever moved the Githinthor to turn on Newell was very powerful in its persuasion. They have fought for decades, putting the good of their individual people to the side in their quest to rule the between. You must understand, we are talking mortals having turned against one of the gods. They are driven almost by madness to achieve their goal.
Ori will light a cigarette or a little cigar up, so no saving their asses. Gotcha. You might be onto something, Douglan. We may have to send some forces in there to give a little support if push comes to shove.
Well, I don't see the difference between the Dooms and the Githinthor right now. I mean, perhaps they have their own agendas, but they seem to be, two peas in a pod here. So anyway, Lieutenant,
you got to think you're a little biased here at Tionchar. All the blows are hitting pretty close to home. The Dooms have been messing with Emathan a lot longer, I think, than the Githinthor. And the Vanguard's always been here to thwart them. So
that's the question, Colin, about the Vanguard. Do they exist? Oops, where's my thing here? Are they just with the kingdom of Evandor, or do they kind of expand across the protected lands?
The Vanguard are all throughout Emathan.
Okay. So it's a vast.
Yeah. So there is a higher concentration of Vanguard in the protected lands, if you remember, sort of the Vanguard. Each year, people apply to become a member of the Vanguard. Often, those of a sort of a wealthier heritage tend to be chosen. But there are Vanguard all throughout Emathan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the numbers are there. There are available.
Numbers are there. The Vanguard throughout all of Emathan would be in the tens of thousands.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
As are the Dooms.
Well, nobody really knows how many Dooms are out there because of the way they operate in very isolated cells. It's very hard to get a feel for how many Dooms actually exist. How many Doom followers?
And sleeper cells all over the place.
General Verymoth. Verymoth. I do apologize. Learning your new names is quite different than our Easterly names, but what do yourself and your captain plan to do in the time it will take us to get the wine to the Timeless Temple?
Lack and I have both taken quite a beating in the last several weeks. A little time to mend and recover would be appreciated and welcomed. I do believe we would just, if it's agreeable to everyone, remain here at the winery until it is time to move the elm wine to the Timeless Temple.
Of course, General. That'll give you time to tell me all the stories about Maggie.
I would request, General, that you and your captain have a bit of a low profile. Your kind is not frequent on Emathan, and anyone spotting you will definitely get back to the Dooms, and we can't have that happening. So, try to keep a low profile while you're waiting out, and I'm sure it's going to be relatively easy if you stay on Tionchar, but just in case anyone comes, the less people know you're here, the less chance we have at getting back to your enemies.
That is prudent in my opinion as well.
Lieutenant, perhaps we could keep a little wider perimeter, a little tighter ship here. No one going in and out unless given permission.
I understand. Yes, we can have extra sets of guards at the major roadways to and from Tionchar, and increase our inspections, I suppose, of those coming and going.
You don't want to draw too much attention to the winery, though, Douglan.
More than a gigantic portal exploding with monsters coming through and a directed attack from the Dooms. They know we're here.
But if that portal, there's a timeline for when it can be accessed again, correct?
I think it's destroyed, right?
Yes, the closing of the portal by destroying the obelisk shut that portal down. The reason there are so few portals in the between is they are very difficult to build. It will take a very long time to rebuild the portal that accesses Tionchar. It would be my personal feeling, at least for now, that would not be an interest of the Githyanki. They are solely focused on destroying the few Githinthor that are left. They would believe that they have cut off our source to the Alm wine, and now they would be focusing on destroying those of us that remain.
Yeah, of course. General, you and the captain are more than welcome to stay here. I agree with Corey. Low profile will be the best of it. I'm sure there's things that could keep you busy around here after you recover, and perhaps you can share some techniques with the vanguard here on how to battle these Githinthor. Something tells me it's not going to be the last scrap we're going to face.
It would be my honor to do so.
Should we get to this? Is there anything else, General, you'd like to enlighten us with?
No, I very much appreciate your time. I know there is much going on at the winery right now. If you do wish me to accompany you in this interrogation, I will do so. In my current state of health, I am not sure how much I would be able to assist, but I will do what is needed of me.
Even as much as just suggesting to one of our interrogators a line of questioning. Just, you have knowledge of that side of the portal that most of us do not. And of the Githinthor, of course, and their capabilities or potential capabilities. So just whatever you feel might be relevant. You're not expected to do the interrogation.
I will accompany and listen to the interrogation. If I do feel I have anything to add of value during that interrogation, I will do so.
Douglan, with his less than 10 hit points left, coughs up, spits out a little blood, puts his hand on the general's shoulder, and gives him 10 lay on hands.
All right. He's feeling a little better with that. Definitely more ready to assist.
Oriel will walk up to Douglan and smack him with the healing
stick. And Corey's application of the Rod of Healing requires a 1d4 damage and 2d4 healing.
Awesome.
All right.
They are Douglan.
Nice.
Now stop whining and complaining, you old geezer.
Nightingale. Corey. All right.
Let's get to this interrogation. I'm itching to find out what
Maggie
we get.
turns to, sitting beside Douglan, she turns to Douglan. She says, Father, I'm going to stay with Anton until anyone potentially arrives from the city.
General, Corey, you gents don't need me for that interrogation, do you? I don't really bring much in the way of those types of skills.
Douglan will inform you on everything we get. We understand.
I'm gonna stay.
I do apologize again for my part in your father-in-law's passing.
Stuff happens in war, lad.
Well, let's get to it, y'all. Lieutenant Arden, let's get these dooms something they can think about while we grill them.
Yes, let's collect this Newlin fellow and proceed.
All right, you make your way out of the manor house and walk over to the Vanguard camp. Captain Barlor, you're able to locate him fairly quickly. He is, talking with the troops. There are wounded that they're dealing with and such. So he makes his way over as he sees. So we have Lieutenant Arden, Lafferty, Landis, Nightingale, and Newlin, obviously.
Right?
Yeah,
Dragon.
Corey Fairbanks.
Yeah. Brell remained behind to stay with Lakalok. And the general is with you as well, obviously. So as you approach Captain Barlor, he sees you have the prisoner that you mentioned, and I assume you are here. We can begin this interrogation.
That would be correct, sir. I would just ask that you keep this feller separate. I pulled a bit of a ruse on him before, and if he lets word out to them that we're, prying into things that we shouldn't be, they might button up real tight.
That can be achieved. Lieutenant Arden, maybe you can take Newell to the cage we have on the west side of the camp. Lock him and leave him for now. Rejoin us.
Very good, sir. And might I suggest that Mr. Fairbanks perhaps should lead the interrogation? He has demonstrated an uncanny ability for subterfuge and manipulation, and I think it would be very effective.
I am quite willing to let that occur, yes.
Lieutenant Arden, are you trying to become besties with me?
I give respect where it's due, sir.
Well, thank you, sir.
And I'll take this Newlin slag fellow scum to the cage.
All right, you
don't be afraid to drop him a few times.
You toss him in the cage, lock it up. There is a guard that takes up a position there to make sure he doesn't try any funny stuff. And you return. There is a tent where you all enter. Captain Barlower takes you in. You see there is a man and a woman, both human, that are tied to posts there. And the captain says, "Come in, everyone. Let's get this begun. Corey, I will leave it in your hands. We have heard very little from these two since they were brought in."
Well, isn't this interesting? I'll walk over and have a gander at them. So you said it was a guy and a girl?
A guy and a girl, yes. The guy is he's very bulky, like very, very big, very muscular, very big upper body, especially in his arms. And the girl is very lean, but also very muscular. Both of them look like they probably know how to throw around a sword and such.
Can I use an investigation check to see if I can discern anything else that might be useful to me? Like, this guy has big, burly arms. From his hands, could I tell if he's a blacksmith? Or something along those lines?
Give me a roll. Yep, absolutely. You could try and determine that.
Could I assist? Ooh, no need.
No need. You're, like you said, based on his muscular structure, his hands are very calloused, lots of little burn marks everywhere. He's a blacksmith or an armorer or something where he's working with a hammer in a forge most of the day.
Anything I can glean off her?
She clearly looks like... Oh, sorry. Give me another investigation check. Like spilling the beans before the roll.
Hey, I'm a good interrogator. I'm sorry.
You're not able quite to determine too much about her. She does, she looks like someone who is not afraid of hard work. We'll leave it at that. She's quite muscular, quite lean.
Okay. Corey will, light up they're tied up.
They're both standing tied to a pole.
Corey will light a cigarette up and kind of, walks around them as he talks to them. He'll be like, "So you try to attack Tionchar Winery. Foolish, foolish, foolish. We've caught most of the rest of your gang at the old farm across the way trying to escape down a little tunnel. The Whitfield's farm. You know what I'm talking about there, sir? And I'll poke the big guy.
He's completely expressionless. He's just kind of staring at you.
It's like, just what I thought. Sucker. He's like, I have a few questions for you, and you're going to answer them, or things are going to get nasty around here. Your friend Newlin, he tried to bite his tongue, and now let's just say he's gone to meet his maker. I'll walk over to the girl, and I'll be like, you seem like a tough cookie to crack. I'm sure you've had to take garbage from these pigs your entire life. So I'm not going to start with you. I'm going to start with the smithy behind you. You see, I know a lot about you, and you don't even know it. How did you guys, and I'll walk over to the bulky gentleman, I'll be like, how'd you know to come here tonight? Now, I'm going to give you a couple choices. You can answer, and maybe the Vanguard will put you away with your hands and feet still intact. I know a man like you loves working with his hands. Or you can lie to me, in which case I'll know you're lying. And then I'll just get him to peel the skin off your hands. I'll try an intimidation there, Colin.
Okay.
I'll start sharpening a knife on a little whetstone behind him.
Yeah,
Nicely.
Lafferty, with his unblinking eyes, is just going to stare at him.
There we go. I like it. Ooh. Be like, hold on there, Arden. There's no peeling that. Give this man a chance to answer. Now tell me, how did you guys know to come here tonight?
If I tell you anything, I'm as good as dead.
That is true. That is true. But you got a choice on how you're going to go. The Dooms, well, they'll probably do something pretty horrible to you if you do tell. But I'm pretty sure that man back there sharpening that knife, he's going to do something even more horrible if you don't tell. Now, as I said, one of your puppies already squealed to us, so we know pretty much everything that was going on, but we need a little collaboration and a little correlation, or I don't think we can trust your folk that the answers you're giving us are the truth. So you have a chance to walk away here in a real nice fashion. Whichever one of you tells us some information we can use, perhaps we just let you go.
This calling was the same as any other. I was approached by a shadow. He said to meet Lacey. We'd coordinate an attack against the winery.
Now, Newlin mentioned this shadow as well. He told you to go where? To Lacey?
We were to meet Lacey, yes.
Where'd you meet Lacey? He
There's
said
a
it was
meeting
at the-
point not far from the old farm.
Yeah, that's what Newlin said. So far, I think you're telling me the truth. Now, little lean girl here, you gonna let this big man get all the free get out of jail cards, or are you gonna spit up some information? You know, I know you Dooms have no loyalty to each other. You know, you could always have him take the rap and you get away free.
And what is your name, sir?
My name.
Yes.
My name's your savior, darling.
I don't believe so.
Well, what's your name?
I have very little interest in playing your game. You see, I move through this area like the wind. And I do as the Dooms ask of me.
I'll walk over to The big lieutenant guy, not Lieutenant Arden. Who's the other
Captain
gentleman?
Barlor?
Captain Barlor.
Okay.
I'll be like, Captain, can we remove that girl into a separate area for a few moments?
Of course.
Thank you. Lieutenant Arden, maybe you could take this female out of the room for a moment. I got a feeling this gentleman's about to spill the beans about her. I think her being in the room just makes it tough for the man to talk about a lady that way.
Absolutely. And maybe there's like a cage on the other side of the so it's not near where we put Newlin.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys got a few different holding cells around the camp that you can move her to.
Well, this kind of distraction is going on. Corey's going to go to Lafferty and be like, Lafferty, do you remember a term, the wind, in relation to the dunes? For some reason, that's ringing a bell, that she would say she moves like the wind.
You're muted.
Yes.
Strong silent type tonight, aren't you, Lafferty?
Lafferty does. Egan does not.
Lafferty does. Egan does not.
No, the wind, though, definitely rings a bell. Big time. But I'm scrolling through my notes and I can't find it.
I believe it was a term given to spies of the Vanguard in the dunes. Is that correct, Colin?
That is correct.
Okay, then I think that's what she was trying to hint at. Let's hope that. I'll whisper to Brell. Not Brell, sorry. I should have wrote his name down again. Barlor. I'll be like, Barlor, you may want to talk to that young woman. I do believe, in a whisper in her ear, she might be a wind.
He kind of looks. I will investigate it immediately.
Now, back to this big feller. I'll walk over to him and I'll be like, so I think we've got a bit of a good relationship going on here. You've told me, or you've correlated a few facts that Newlin had told me, that you were all supposed to meet at the Whitfields, and the Shadow came and gave you that information. Now, what else can you tell me before I get you acquainted with my little friend that hangs on my side here, since Arden's a little busy, and I'll pat my whip a little. I need something good, boy. I need to save your life tonight.
Damn.
If I tell you everything I know, can you promise I will not be kept with the other dunes?
If you tell me everything I want to know, I'll allow you to marry Douglan's daughter. Just joking, Douglan. I know he's not here.
There. Yeah.
Good thing he's not there.
Lafferty looks around like,
Too soon? Too soon? Yeah, I'll let's put it this way. If you tell me something that makes me happy this evening, you'll have a good chance of coming out of here, and we'll put you somewhere nice and dark and no one will find you.
It's probably my best bet.
It's your only bet.
Okay, give me another. We'll keep going with intimidation. Give me another intimidation check.
What about persuasion? I'm trying.
Well, what are you doing? Intimidating or persuading this?
I'm going to try.
That sounded a little more persuasive. So yeah, let's go with persuasion.
I'll make it sound nicer. Maybe not a dark place will put you. It's got flowers.
Yeah, that got a little intimidating there towards the end. Ooh, very nice.
It's better. It's my strong point, persuasion.
I finally found the notes on the wind.
Yeah, good.
All right. So this gentleman, you can see he's kind of rolling some thoughts through his head. You know, clearly trying to figure out what he's going to share, and he says, well, this calling was was no different than any other one. We're always approached by a shadow to tell us who we're meeting and where we go. All these men, I like the women voices better.
We didn't give him water.
All we were told is the attack was to be a distraction so Lacey could complete some sort of mission. I have no idea what the mission is, and it was better that way. We were to keep up the attack until the black smoke stopped in the sky. Then we was all just to escape back to our homes through the tunnels at the Whitfield farm.
What can you tell me of this Lacey character?
Lafferty's going to chime in and whisper, it's the daughter of the Whitfield.
I never heard the name before this job, before this calling.
Would you know anybody that would know what Lacey was up to?
It's not the way we usually operate. We're told the least amount possible to get the job done.
Well, I'll walk out of the tent or whatever room we're in and check on Lieutenant Arden. Make sure he's okay.
Just
Tell
keeping
him that.
Close eye on these.
I'll be like, Lieutenant Arden, if that cage is good enough to hold them fellas, I think there might be some assistance that your commander might need.
Oh, very well.
And I'll walk with them to where we sent the female.
All right. So Captain Barlor, with basically grabbed a couple of the Vanguard soldiers. They have a grip on this girl, and they took him over to Captain Barlor's tent, and they're preparing to speak with her there.
So a separate private enclosure, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
Be like, as I'm walking with Arden, I'll be like, Arden, we trust you. Now, I'm asking you to go in that tent and hear what this missus has to say, and then perhaps coming back to me with the other gentleman, and if there's any tidbits I might be able to use to pry more information from him. I trust it coming from your mouth.
So one thing I'm gathering initially from all this is that they don't know much about what their orders are specifically or where they come from, but maybe we could learn more about their motivations, like why they're doing what they're doing. That might lead to more of a root of the issue.
This last gentleman said they were there for a distraction, that some Lacey girl had a mission and they were the distraction.
I mean, on a more fundamental level, like what drives a Doom member to be a Doom member?
I think just being nasty, but I'll ask him.
Maybe if if he's a blacksmith, and he's a part of this movement or whichever you want to call it, then
why to get caught up in it?
Exactly. What was promised him? What's the underlying motivation for him to put himself in this sort of harm's way?
I like it.
So we could ask her the same thing since we're here.
Well, I'm gonna head back, Lieutenant Arden. I'm hoping you'll be my ears in this room. I can't leave poor Lafferty in there with that maniac. Lafferty might talk him to death.
Oh, so you want to question separately, basically?
Yeah.
Very well.
Unless we can get a Vanguard to watch this dude, and I can pull Lafferty out of there.
I mean, there's plenty of us around. There's like...
Well then, you get started, and I'll grab Lafferty. We'll be right over.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's guards right outside that tent,
Yeah.
right? I mean, you can just
Yeah.
just tell them they've been guarding these two since they
Like this is the
Perfect.
main
arrived, right?
Vanguard camp we're at right now, right?
Yeah.
Then I will grab Lafferty out of that room because I'm sure he's like, so tell
Dripping
me the-
acid on him or something.
Yeah. Whoa, you psycho!
Yeah. What's your motivation? Tell me.
The eyeballs melted out of his
He's got
eye
this
socket.
little teardropper right over his eye, like almost dropping.
Burning away layers of cornea. Just
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it only
Like
takes
some
off
void
one
water.
layer at a
Yeah.
time. Wow, that's
Perhaps
good
a little
stuff.
drop of void water. Hmm?
Yeah.
All right, so I assume Landis is with you guys as well,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
the whole group will go over to this other girl. We'll leave bulky man there to sweat for a little.
All right. Bulky man sweating. And you make your way over to Captain Barlore's tent, where you enter and you find this lady is not tied up or grappled in any way. She is talking to the captain.
oh,
As I suspected.
we murdered them both.
When Corin kill them all,
He's the mole.
He's the
He
mole.
says.
Like making out across the table.
Oh wow, damn it!
That was
Ah,
easy.
see, interrogations are going swimmingly.
Yes.
All right, as the group of you enter, Captain Barlow turns to Corey and says, "It was as you had suspected. This is Tavia Dewcutter. Tavia is one of Commander Rainier's spies within the Doom organization. She will share with you what she has shared with me. Essentially, what she has told me, and she says that's okay, Captain. I can take this.
Well, this is a boon.
So, I am one of Commander Rainier's spies, known as the Wind. That is why I hoped you would understand what I was saying without tipping it off. The gentleman you have in the other tent's name is Calvin. Calvin Shunko. He is a blacksmith from Queenstown, the best that I could determine in the small amount of conversation we've been able to have. As you probably already know, the Dooms have gone dark right across the kingdom of Evendor. With the situation that has occurred at the Whitfield farm, there has been a requirement for the Dooms to regroup and assure that there are no weaknesses within their structure. They are going through extreme measures as of late to hide their activity. And I am unfortunately struggling to understand the bigger picture right now. But there is something big in the works. I have heard that Milena Whitfield has gone to the city of Allegon to attempt to free her husband. This is information that Commander Rainier is already aware of. Lacey has been watching the winery and preparing for today's attack for quite some time. She's taking direction from a shadow that I have never seen before, and I do not believe is from Evendor.
Well,
Arden's like, I understand you've seen strange things and have been on quite a journey. Are we talking about a real shadow person, or is this just a term? Is this a rank?
Shadows are the term that the Dooms use for their people that move between cells to keep everyone informed as much as any single cell needs to know. They are all referred to as shadows.
So they bleed.
they
Yes,
yeah.
it
Very
would
good.
bleed.
Very good.
Lacey, sorry, not Lacey. What's her name? Tavia?
Taba.
Tava?
Yeah, just Taba.
Tava, do you think there's any more information you can get from these fellers? If we put you back in, or what's the plan from here for you? We didn't blow your cover.
No, and I do appreciate that. The Doom structure operates on a very need-to-know basis. Doom cells, Doom members may go weeks, months, years, and never hear anything from their handlers, the shadows that I referred to. And then when they are called upon, they are expected to do as the shadow has requested. Most of the shadows in this area have had very little to do until the past few Trigons. It is much more activity than any of us are used to being involved in.
But the information you're allowed to is quite limited then.
Indeed. Their thought process is, if you don't know, you can't tell.
Clever way to operate.
What would...
Sorry, Miss Tava, do you know where Lacey is?
I do not. Our instructions were very simple. We were approached by the shadow. We were told to meet Lacey. There is a area in the forests north of the Whitfield farm. Each Doom that came in was simply given instructions to take a position around the farm today. When the black smoke came into the sky, they were to attack. There was very little coordination. We were told the only goal of the attack was to create a distraction for Lacey. They would not tell us what her mission was.
Lafferty, you've got yourself a bit of familiarity about the vineyards by now. Perhaps we should check the vines. Maybe they're coming to see if they could capture some of the vines and make their own wine. And do we know if the sickle is okay?
I hope we need to check on all of these things. Absolutely.
You know, if we're putting minds to minds here, what could they gain on a secret mission from the vineyard? It's either the vines the wine come from, the sickle that makes it, or the formula. Now, the formula died with Anton. You're the only other person that knows how to make it. So, in my opinion, that leaves the sickle and the vines, something that they could capture and acquire.
Lafferty's going to look around and make sure that those in the room are allowed to know this. And actually looks directly at Corey and says, this wine can be made no other location. The vines would be meaningless to them. The sickle would be meaningless to them. It is the ground that creates. So I believe their intent to attack is strictly to prevent the alm from getting in the hands of the Githinthor. That seems to be the last line of defense that needs to be maintained for total annihilation for them. Turns to Miss Tava, very, very like sharp, almost like a twitch. Miss Tava, have you ever seen a shadow? Could we capture one? Is there something that can be done? Maybe during this transport of the alm wine, or maybe the meeting place where people are supposed to go back to. Can we set something up to try to capture Lacey or one of these shadows?
You're mute.
Thank you. I was opening a can. I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
No worries.
Can of wolf ass?
A can, yeah.
Can of background information.
You can attempt Yeah, exactly. You can attempt to capture a shadow, but they are very difficult to keep tabs on. No one knows who the shadows are. They always wear masks. And they will come in, they will relay the information required, and they will be gone before you have even time to ask a question.
Are the masks ornate, or are they just a cloth covering?
Dooms of the higher ranks all wear masks. They all look the same. They are black. They cover the entire face, and the idea is, even at the higher levels of the Doom ranks, they do not want to know who each other are, for fear that if they were ever captured and tortured, they could give others away. This is the same with the shadows. No one knows who they are. They appear, they relay the information required, and they are gone long before anyone could even tell where they came from. It is likely that they use magic in some way to come and go from their locations.
I see. And currently I lack any skills to prevent that or to offer detection. So perhaps that wasn't the best of ideas. But maybe this Lacey is not as slippery.
Unfortunately, sir, Lacey is as slippery as they get. Although her father led the Dooms in this area, Lacey was the stealth of their organization. She went where she needed to go, when she needed to go, and very few ever knew she did.
See. I see.
It's quite a puzzle we have.
Mm-hmm.
One that shifts and moves and disappears and doesn't even know what the other pieces are.
But yet they all arrive here when they need it. Most curious.
I feel like we're going to need, as you may have suggested earlier, bait. I feel that given their structure, trying to track them down and toss them out is near impossible.
Sorry, Colin, who's in the room with us besides this Tava?
Captain Barlor.
Captain Barlor.
Captain Barlor, Lieutenant Arden, the
And
three of you, and
Tava.
and Tava.
Okay.
What's that big brain of yours thinking about, Lafferty?
Well, I'm reluctant to say in front of certain company, but please, Corey, please ask me afterward. I have an idea that I think very few people should know about. Again, maybe taking a page from the Dooms playbook, if you will. That the less people know, the better. Have no disrespect to you, but yes, no disrespect to you.
No,
Corey,
of course.
we'll discuss later, but I think it's something that could be very helpful if bait is what we're looking for.
Fair enough. Well,
So
what do we do with these folks now? I don't think Sir Calvin in the next room there is going to be able to give us much more. I do think you're right, though, Arden. I'm about to ask him about why he would do this, risk his livelihood for the dunes. But other than that, what else are we looking for? They don't seem to know much.
There is a possibility of it would require Captain Barlour's consent, of course, but perhaps we could offer him a type of indentured servitude. He is a blacksmith after all, and the Vanguard need arms and armor, and perhaps there's a way he could be working for us under strict circumstances, and we might be able to have a minor mole of our own.
You know, Lieutenant, if I might even extrapolate on that, if I may.
Of course.
Tava, if pressed, could you describe exactly how the shadows look to my friend Corey here? Detail counts.
They are generally all the same. Yes, I do believe I could.
Corey, with your skills, do you think you could mimic one
To
of
what
them?
end? It all depends how deep I got to go down this rabbit hole.
I'm just assessing the assets because perhaps we could do a fake recruitment of our own. I don't know if they've pulled all of the sleeper dooms in the area, but if a shadow shows up and tries to recruit, perhaps we could find out more so we're not caught unaware. It's just sort of an ongoing, or perhaps even someone else could do this. Tava, did they call all in this region, all in this area, I should say? Are you aware of? What were their numbers?
They did not. We numbered about 24. There are a few others in the area that I still do know that were not called upon. But at this point, due to my capture, I'm not sure who got away and who did not.
Sorry, Lieutenant, please.
When a shadow is coming to activate a cell, is there a code of some sort that they use so that the dooms know that this is a member of authority rather than just someone in a mask?
There is a tattoo that the shadows have in a very specific location. They show the tattoo as the proof of who they are.
Have you seen this?
I have.
Excellent. Very good. Sorry, Lafferty.
No, I again, I just say, if someone went around as one of these shadows recruiting, it might provide for two things, if you will. It might first of all eliminate, again, additional sleeper cells that we deal with on our terms as opposed to theirs. It also might draw out an actual shadow. It's something to think about, Corey. I don't want to put you to this task or even suggest that it could work, but please, Tava, let's have that in reserve. Describe everything to the detail. And I'll grab even a parchment and you tell me the tattoo, and I want to, Lafferty's going to draw it down as best as he can, because he can do tattoos.
So,
yep.
No, go ahead, Lieutenant.
The other question is, how does a shadow know that someone like Calvin Shenko is a doom?
Yeah.
So that he knows who to approach. That would be the other.
I don't understand that part of the doom equation myself. They seem to have knowledge of who the dooms are in the area. Not even the dooms in the area themselves often know. They tend to call up on a specific group of followers from an area so that that group is always together. But I do know there are always other groups of dooms within the area. They do not even know of each other. The shadows seem to know who everyone is, and it is my thought that they are from the area. But as I said, this newest shadow that has entered, I've never seen or heard him before.
And
This could work
Lafferty,
to our advantage.
yes, I think you're right in trying to recruit more members with a false shadow. Because at least then we are starting from, we can make no mistake, right? We're not approaching the wrong people.
Yep.
And yes, you're right. It might draw the attention of a true shadow.
Gentlemen, may I speak with you outside the tent? You'll have to excuse us, ma'am. And
Of course.
I'll get everybody out of the tent except for Tavia or Tava. I don't know why I keep coloring it Tavia. That's how I envision her. Now, you had mentioned before, Lafferty, and this is outside of her, immediate vicinity, that you wanted to draw them out. Now, I think that's the better approach than us trying to find them.
Yes.
If they don't know each other, the chances of me pretending to be a shadow and locate anyone that might actually be a doom is going to be pretty slim. But if we stage a way for our current prisoners to escape, they, in turn, could spread false information about a shipment, perhaps. And that will get back to a shadow.
Yes.
And then we've kind of led them into the direction in which we can anticipate and potentially gather more information. What do you guys think about that kind of a plan? I'm not against, pretending to be someone I'm not. Heck, I do it every day. But I think it's going to be awfully hard for me to portray I know stuff that I couldn't possibly know. Like, clearly these shadows are told who to communicate with. They go activate them and then they're gone. So chances of me finding and blindly stumbling into something that might lead to something is going to be pretty slim. But, perhaps on the way back to the city, our doomed prisoners get released somehow. Perhaps forces attack and they're able to escape, and we can get the wind back into the dooms. We can get a little false information into the dooms, and we see what happens from that.
Yes, Corey, I agree, and I like the plan. In fact, one of the things that I was going to mention to you, and I did not want to do it in front of Tava, was I can create the next closest thing to the Alm wine. It will look and feel and present itself exactly as that. And my thought was to, instead of one shipment going to that location, that is a number of bottles, that we could split this up for safety reasons, that we're going to take it in smaller shipments, but none of them are the real thing. The first one goes, we tell a certain person, we let Tava know what's happening. She goes out and mentions it. Or as you say, we let the those that we captured escape. I don't think that necessarily needs to happen, and not the other. See, the thought behind you becoming a fake shadow doesn't matter who you find or who you don't. You could go door to door, literally, and they don't know. If it's someone who is a doom, they'll follow your command and they'll go to a destination. We round them up. If they're not, they'll look at you funny and they'll report it to the Vanguard that some strange person in a mask was telling him to go to a certain destination. However, I wish this was something that we could put on the Vanguard. I don't know if they have in their resources someone who has the expertise in disguise and deception, because that could be a task that they could do over a longer period to just round up these sleeper cells. We're not catching the doom or the shadows this way. Maybe, perhaps, they'll show themselves for the wine. You're right. This is just to clear the area of this infection that seems to be all around us and ready to call at a moment's notice. I don't like having these next door to Tionchar Winery. It's unnerving, right? So let's think about it. I do think that we can use this fake wine, if you will, and these shipments to the Timeless Temple as a means of maybe drawing more of them out. But we do it on the way we want, not the other way around.
It's quite the plan.
Now, not to sound too callous, but my concern isn't flushing out the dooms. That's the Vanguard's concern. These people have been doing this for as long as I can remember. Now, I understand tensions are running high and everybody wants to get revenge for Anton, but I think we have bigger fish to fry. We got to figure out how to get the wine to so-and-so in whatever time frame the general gave us there. I think it was about 3 weeks. He said it would take for the Githinthor to get kind of gathered around.
The general said his people would need at least a couple of weeks to regroup at the Timeless Temple.
Now, I would suggest currently that the Vanguard do a head count, because if Lacey is the kind of person I think she is, she could still be here, parading around as somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we still haven't been able to peg down what this girl was doing. She had a mission at the Tionchar Winery, and we don't know what that is. So she could still be around. She could be Tava in there. We don't know. Right? So as long as we got a slippery fish around here somewhere, I think it might be time for us to start, button down the hatches and making sure all things are as they seem. We can worry about the dooms, I'm sure Lieutenant Arden and his men will use what information we can gather from these two and use whatever decoys they can. But we got to protect our own and protect what we're here to do, which is make sure that the Githinthor get this wine and we deal with that part of it.
Yes. No, I agree. As I said, I wish this was a task that we could give to the Vanguards exclusively. Perhaps, Lieutenant, you can speak with your people. Maybe there is someone that can take this task while we concentrate on, let's call it the bigger fish, if you will.
Like I know, Lafferty, you've built quite the relationship with Anton, and I'm sure revenge is the first thing on your mind, but we got to focus on the big picture here, and it's not what few dooms are gathered around Tionchar. All of Emathan's in danger, if I'm viewing this correctly.
I agree. I agree.
Definitely gathered more information now about this doom situation than we've ever had, and we can formulate a plan throughout our organization to at least be far more aware of how their operation works, and we might be able to stumble upon more. If their net is as wide as it sounds like, then there's going to be areas where it gets messy, even for them. Mm-hmm. Who knows what we might discover. So 2 things seem apparent to me. One is that the Tionchar region is of extreme importance to the security of not only our Gith neighbors, I suppose, but for Emathan itself, based on what's happening here on these other side of these portals. And then, yes, because of that, whatever support that we can provide that would almost act as a security blanket, as it were, to mask your movements. Perhaps that's what we should focus on as a greater organization. if we are showing a active movement to root out the dooms, that would put less of a focus on your more finite business that is of greater importance.
Another layer of disguise.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do we have any other questions we want to ask these folks? Or I think, like you said, they're not going to be able to give us much other than they were sent here to distract, and Lacey had the real mission. And like I said, we need to figure out what that was. That's more important than whether or not these guys tell us anything else.
I think from here, our officers will convene and discuss how best to put these prisoners to use.
Yeah, indeed. Do suggest, that maybe they feed some information that might be handy, because, burning your one, or I'm sure you've got a few spies in the dooms, but the more you can keep into them, the better.
Yeah, is Tava Dewcutter, is she a vanguard, or is she worked for some other organization?
She she's not a vanguard. She's
Okay.
a vanguard spy.
Gotcha.
So
Of
she
the wind.
is.
Yeah.
She's.
So she's like a sect of the overall organization. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Landis will kind of take Lafferty to the side, and he'd be like, Lafferty, I want to remind you again that my grandfather has arranged transportation for us in Nome. This transportation might be the perfect way to get this wine from point A to point B, while using ground transportation to make it seem like we can come in the night, pick up the wine. In the day, the caravan heads out, no one's the wiser.
Landis, you understand me. Yes.
So perhaps, Lieutenant Arden, your spy could let the Dooms know that the wine is going to be shipped out in a few weeks to a undisclosed destination, and then we bait the trap.
Of course.
The Vanguard could handle that transfer of the fake wine, capture what Dooms you can in their attack on it, and we can transport the wine to its location with the General and his captain.
Yeah. Yes.
And tiddly-do. That's a new word I picked up.
Send out a decoy and sneak through the grass, as it were.
Exactly. But perhaps...
All right, guys, why don't we... we're coming up on 10 o'clock here. Why don't we take a little break?
Another hour of monologue and we're almost done.
Yeah.
We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, gents, we are back. So you're standing outside of Captain Barlore's tent. The captain and Tava are waiting inside while the Lieutenant, Landis, Lafferty, and Corey were having a chat about how you might proceed with the prisoners, and what are you doing?
Now, do we want to begin to search Tionchar for anybody that can't be confirmed is our side? Maybe check on the sickle and a few other key things. Just see if we can
probably be a priority. Yeah.
Discern what Lacey's mission was. Would she poison all the wine? Is there any way Lafferty could test it? Yeah.
Oh, this one was poison.
Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I say we do a little roundabout. Let's check on the moon sickle, make sure that's okay. We know the wine's safe because that was with us.
Yeah.
And then,
but it hasn't been watched by us in quite a while.
I don't think we would have left it just sitting there. I hope, anyway. But no, we should definitely get that to a secure location. You know where I could put it? Actually, Lafferty chimes in. Let me do this. Gentlemen, I think I know just the place to store the wine for now. And he's just like, let's say we Colin, we say we took it to a room somewhere at the house.
Yeah, we brought it back to the
Yeah,
main
you
house.
just you brought it all into the house and put it into one of the rooms on the main floor.
So he's going to go in alone. Actually, no, he's going to bring Corey in. Lieutenant, if you don't mind giving us a moment.
Absolutely.
Perhaps
you have to walk back to the house. You're at the Vanguard camp right now.
Oh, okay. I think it's something that we should do. So maybe the Vanguard can run a periphery to see if there's any other stragglers. See, make
sure everybody who they are.
Yeah. Perhaps, Lieutenant, you could take the lead on that.
Absolutely. And I'll get to the posting more guards as well. Not doubling those efforts.
Okay. And then
as you guys are sort of you're talking about heading back to the manor house and that two doomed soldiers come galloping into the tent. They quickly sorry, not doomed soldiers.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's time.
The Vanguard suck at
Yeah, what type of perimeter do you guys keep?
Yeah, the worst.
Wow. Yeah. You guys are going to have to get a little better at guarding Tionchar Winery, clearly. Sorry. Two Vanguard soldiers arrive back at the camp. They quickly dismount and head straight over to Lieutenant Arden. Lieutenant, we have found the tunnels.
The tunnels?
Yes, we've been digging. The good news, both men are fine. They were able to get into the tunnel. Well, you'll see better when you get there. But the tunnel we looked at was not the actual tunnel. It was a ruse. But while trying to dig it out, we were able to locate the actual tunnel.
That's fantastic. Excellent. Yes, let's get on that right away. Excellent work, gentlemen. Make sure you get drink and rest, and we'll be calling upon you shortly to lead us the way.
Captain Barlor, hearing the animated conversation comes out. Did I hear correctly that we have found the tunnels at the Whitfield farm?
It would appear so, sir.
Then we must dispatch people to search it immediately. Corey, I ask that your group joins them, as we are unfortunately a little short-handed at the time as we continue to try and ensure that Tionchar Winery and the farm is secure. Would that be agreeable to you? We will simply recage the prisoners for now until we are ready to deal with them.
Captain Barlor, to be honest, I don't think you could keep us from joining.
Excellent.
Would someone please send for Douglan and Maggie, please?
Of course.
Please
My
keep a guard on
suggestion is you ride. If you have mounts available to you, if not, we will provide them.
We'll get everybody corralled together.
Douglan has a mount.
So do I. I got Peaches. Old Peaches has been hanging out at the vineyard.
Peaches, yes.
Peaches and Morgan. Lieutenant Arden, you're coming with us, right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You've held your own quite well this far. Yeah, get out of here, Lieutenant
I keep
Arden.
trying to get rid of Lieutenant Arden so we can see his...
No. Don't rush the narrative, my friend.
The
time will come.
Don't rush.
Kill him.
He has a stroke on horseback. Yeah.
We'll leave Maggie here. Let Maggie watch over Anton and the vineyard.
Yeah, and you are, as Maggie had mentioned before, you are waiting the hopeful arrival of somebody from the city of Evendor that could possibly
She
bring
has
Anton
General
back.
Verimok and
Yeah.
uh,
Douglan
Laclock
reluctantly
watching over him.
Yeah, Douglan reluctantly leaves, but he knows the situation is still hot.
Douglan, we
All
need
right.
you to be leading the way, if you know what I mean.
Could you beat me with the stick a few more times? I'm still a little
Well,
light on the
That's
HP.
a good question. Mechanically, while we were doing all this, Douglan was behind. Would he have been able to short rest?
Yes,
Use some hit
I
dice,
feel he's been resting in the at the
Yeah.
manor house for quite a while. So I will run a
Lieutenant
short
Arden,
rest.
you meta like the best of them, brother.
Well, I mean, it's a game as well. There's two parts.
Yes.
I'm going to take a hit die. Wow.
Oh,
Right. That gets
holy, like,
another-
tooting your own horn there, Douglan.
Nightingale, you're a little bit roughed up there, and Landis, if you want to use hit
I'm gonna
dice,
use
I'm not
it.
We
sure.
can use hit dice as well?
You can use a hit dice on a short rest, yes.
Sweet.
All right.
You just roll that from the main page. Is that
You just grab it off the front of your character sheet and roll it in the
like down at
Yeah,
the
right at the
where it
bottom of
says
your-
HD? Yeah,
Yeah, right at the bottom of your sheet or your hit
In the
dice.
chatty chat.
cool. I don't need to because
Nope, hard.
Yeah!
All right, Douglan, you got some temporary hit points there as well. So
Yeah, I don't think it goes away, and I'll read it though.
I was just going to ask you, what's the time frame on those?
Immediately.
One round. It's just been a really long round.
It's
just been a multiple.
you can use as many as you
hour-long
want
round.
within the hour.
We're just looking for the time frame on his temp hit.
Inspiring
Oh,
Smite.
sorry.
There's no time.
No time frame.
Nope.
Excellent,
How convenient.
indeed.
Well, let's go. We'll ride off.
We ride.
Wish I had my coconuts. Hey, I'm glad I'm not the only one rolling.
Everybody goes straight to the coconuts. Ah, yes.
These are
Quite ironic.
African or European though.
Swallow. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna say 7 of you, including the 2 vanguard soldiers. You make a pretty solid gallop back to the Whitfield farm, and you see probably a half dozen vanguard soldiers are just all standing around that barn where the collapse was, and you approach.
All right.
The 2 vanguard soldiers dismount, and Lieutenant, please follow us.
Yes, of course, gentlemen. And we go.
So you go around in. Basically, they've got the barn doors open. If you remember, I sort of described the whole floor of the barn collapsed into where this cellar was under the barn.
Mm-hmm.
Where you walked into the cellar and went straight ahead, that's where the vanguard soldier had described they saw the tunnel. When and the 2 went ahead of him. Those are the 2 that they thought they lost. Thankfully, they made it to that tunnel. They dug them out, but in the process of digging, off to if you're going down into the cellar, off to the left, behind some of the cellar shelves and that, which were all broken, and they saw another tunnel. And, based on the fact that it was hidden, they've dug it out enough to crawl down in there and check it. They've gone quite a ways in, and the tunnel just keeps going. So the other tunnel, the one the 2 men went to, only went in about 10 feet and then just stopped. So It was the trap that was meant for anyone who didn't understand where the actual entrance to the tunnel was.
Okay.
And they've dug it enough now that people can crawl down into that tunnel.
Right.
Well, if I may be so bold as you fellas follow me, I'll see if I can find any traps.
Scout ahead, excellent.
You just give me a couple paces ahead.
So some of us can see in the dark, some of us cannot. So hopefully any of us that cannot have access to a torch or something that you can use to light the way.
Lafferty will, you see him bend a couple of wires and tosses a little, basically he can create a little illumination, throws it to Douglan and says, here, just put that on your breastplate, or yeah, that'll light up away, at least give you a dim light for a little bit. Okay.
All right.
Arden
I'm
will
sure
light a
someone, I'm sure Arden can get access to a torch.
Yep, he's got a torch.
And
Corey will slip in ahead of all the torch bearers as he can see in the dark. And
yes. Lafferty and Corey would be able to see in the dark, right? Everyone else would have a light source.
Landis pulls out his gem of brightness and swiggles it on the end of his staff. I got this from a guy named Gandalf. It was pretty cool.
All right. You head down into these tunnels. Now, the tunnels are not very high, not very wide. You can only move through them single file.
Okay.
The tunnel system is very well constructed. There's lots of bracing. So although they did not make it very large, it is very well constructed to make sure there were no collapses or such. Moving through the tunnel system, maybe 100 feet or so, you meet up with two other tunnels. On the main tunnel that you're traveling, two other tunnels kind of converge in on the sides of the tunnel you're traveling through. Definitely gives you, kind of suggests to the fact that there's probably other entrances around the farm somewhere that have met up with this tunnel you're in.
Nightingale, as we're moving along, Corey Fairbanks will pull out a piece of chalk and mark our way on the timbers that are kind of holding things up.
Okay, so far, other than the two tunnels that converged into the tunnel you're in, it's just been straight single file going.
Yeah, just in case. He's got it ready. He's a veteran tunnel crawler. I spelunked as a child.
You travel through the tunnels, and at time, they get so that, they're literally, the tunnel is around you like this as you're kind of moving through. They really minimized the tunnel system as much as possible, but it's quite an impressive undertaking for for presumably non-miners. You're traveling through the tunnel system for what you think at least a half an hour or more.
Wow.
It's a very, very long tunnel system. You do, towards the end of the half hour, you get the feeling you're going down very gradually, but you can kind of feel that there's a bit of a downward slope to the tunnel. And in the distance on the tunnel, you can start to see some light. And it's been quite quiet. And just off in the distance, you're starting to hear basically the forest again. You can hear the wind and the trees and animals and stuff just start off in the distance again.
Maybe, Mr. Fairbanks, should scout ahead and take a quiet look out the entrance to see if anyone lays in wait.
I was thinking the same thing, Arden. You guys hold back here.
Gentlemen, it's okay. Pez.
Oh.
Send Pez ahead.
It would be pretty tough for Pez to fly through this tunnel.
Okay. I will.
Lafferty, let's not make me obsolete to your familiar.
Sorry, I thought
I have a very particular skill set.
Yeah.
I mean, you can certainly send Pez, but
how about you put Pez on my shoulder, and when I get to the thing, he can fly out.
Okay.
And I will sneak on down, being as stealthy as possible. If you would like a stealth roll, I've got it loaded.
I would love a stealth roll.
There's a perfect one.
Yes.
That's the vibe.
Pez was like chopping it.
As my free action, I cry as I roll down the
You
thing.
seriously just roll a 1.
You should have rolled into the dice tower.
That's okay. I think I'm quiet.
We like hear, like, damn, crunch. Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
Doing great.
You whack your head on one of the beams. Oh, yeah.
Get the owl out of my face! Get the owl out of my face! Yeah, I try my best.
Yep,
Walk out the end.
You sneak up. So as you're getting towards the end of the tunnel, the tunnel enters a bit of a cave. It's not a huge cave, but there is a cave there, and you can kind of see across the other side of the cave. There is an entrance, so it actually goes out into the outside out there. There is a gentleman standing about 5 feet or so outside the cave. He's looking out, talking to someone you can't see that's out of the shot. There's a lot of noise, although you weren't particularly quiet. Stubbed your toe a few times, kicked some dirt. With all the noise outside, it doesn't appear that, he's probably a good 40 feet or so away from the tunnel to where that exit from the cave is. The cave itself is empty. There's nobody, nothing in the cave.
I will cast Silent Image in front of, like, right to the front of where he is, so that if he looks back, the cave looks empty. And I'll flag everybody down and kind of hold my lips to him. So, like, if he happens to look back...
Can you read... So we talked about it before.
Or a creature or some other visible phenomenon that is no larger than a 15-foot cube. So if the tunnel leading out to him is larger than 15 feet, the illusion will have kind of... You'll see past it if anything is above that. The image appears at a spot within range, so I have up to 60 feet, and lasts for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes. The image is purely visual. It is not accompanied by sound, smell, or sensory effect.
Just a reminder for everybody that, because this just popped into my head here, we haven't had a long rest, so any spells that have been used, just make sure you're...
I know I am...
Just call me Cantrip.
Low on the...
Okay.
Captain Cantrip.
Yeah, so basically, I'll just make it look so that if he happens to look back in the cave, if he hears something, it looks empty.
Okay.
And then I will get
good.
everybody else. Like, I got 10 minutes. I'm pretty sure I can sneak back. I will attempt to sneak back to get everybody into the cave so that we can do a proper introduction.
All right. You make your way back. You inform the group what you saw. Then as a group, you sneak your way up just into the cave. Can you see through that illusion on your side?
Yeah, we can see through the illusion. It's more to the people that are ahead of it.
Okay.
If you're kind of behind the illusion when it's cast, like mine is a wall. So if you're behind the wall, you would see through it. But anyone on the other side would be the illusion.
Sounds good. You can see as Corey described, there is a single individual about 6 feet, 5-6 feet outside of the cave entrance. Your Douglan, as you get out and you look out, you recognize, so west of the Whitfield farm, there is a large area that is a ravine. Based on the amount of time you've been traveling through the cave and the general direction you took off in, you're fairly sure you're somewhere in those ravines.
Okay.
You do recognize, you don't know exactly where you are because you've been traveling underground, but you can see, rock wall on the other side. That's very typical of the ravines.
Mm-hmm. I'll relay that to everyone. I think we're just down the ravine a bit.
So do you guys think I should walk out there and see if I can lure the suckers in here, or are we just going to charge out and take them by surprise?
Well, sorry, in the description, do we know if they're bad people, or are they just people who happen to be...
Well, I don't say we got to kill them. We just got to
We
take them by
murder
surprise.
first, and then we ask questions. Just letting you know. Murder first, then we talk.
Well, if our interest is to stay subtle, perhaps luring them in and being able to quickly and quietly subdue them and figuring out the truth would be the best option.
Then, using my best Foley skills, the illusion, I'll be like making all the sound effects for it, and because I can change the image, I'll make it so that Calvin comes out of the cave.
Comes out of the cave or walks up to the edge of the cave?
Walks up to the edge of my illusion.
Yeah.
And I will do my best impersonation of his voice, since I have talked with him a little bit. And Calvin will look a little beat up, and he'll be like, and then what I'll do is, like, the illusion will fall kind of behind the entrance so that they have to come in to investigate. That's what I will attempt to do.
Okay. What I'm going to ask from you is, because of what you're trying to orchestrate, 18 rolls. I want you to give me a performance check to see how well you puppeteer your illusion into looking like this.
Perfect.
17. All right. And what is it you say to the gentleman at the...
I will just see, like, I'm not saying anything particular, but I'm not being quiet. And like, as I'll be like, yeah, give me a hand here. And then Calvin stumbles over dead.
And I'm going to make the presumption that the rest are hiding, so that when the illusion suddenly falls to the side, that everybody else isn't just like...
Actually, Douglan was so impressed by the performance, he starts to go to help him. But then he remembers.
Oh, this man is in need.
Oh, that
healing word.
Damn Oath of Protector. They always get me into trouble.
They get me right in the feels every time. All right. The rest of you are able to hide in the cave out of sort of the line of sight that this individual would have. What's the best way to proceed here? I'm gonna share this map with you.
Or he has his whip drawn as his weapon of choice for this evening's festivities of the beatings.
Ooh, a little BDSM tonight, huh?
Just 1 second, please. Please hold.
One moment, please.
Please hold. Alright, I'm gonna give you the whole kit and caboodle here. So you will see the cave in the northeast corner of the map.
We do indeed.
And there are 2 gentlemen. So the one that was closest, but another one has approached as that first one. I'll throw the lot of you on the map. You can pick your positions.
I will draw the illusionary line, Colin.
So there you all are. And
That's where the illusion sits.
Okay. And you can... so the entrance, you can just barely see it up in the very top corner. That's where you came into the cave.
Nightingale's where he is. I've got to be there to create the sound effects in a pattern the guy would hear, so...
Okay, so the illusion now appears that the guy's just fallen on the ground.
Yeah, like... Well, you see where see where Douglan is?
Yeah.
It's almost like the illusion fell there, so he has to come, like...
So it would have fallen out of his line of sight.
Fallen out of his line of sight, yeah.
Okay, perfect. You hear the gentleman who's at the cave entrance. He yells to the other one that you just saw walking into sort of your line of sight there, Nightingale.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, come give me a hand. And he turns. He walks to there. Is he going to walk through the illusion?
That's your call. He probably would have to go to where the guy looks like he fell.
Yeah. So he's going to step to there, and now he would see everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This is when we jump him.
Okay. And our other guy, I will leave there because he's sort of watching. And I think we better roll for some initiative. Anyone in the mood?
Yes, please.
Woohoo!
I forgot what I can do.
Grapple him.
All right, I'll roll some initiative for our boys here. Oh, you know what I'll need to do, though? I'll need to add our boys to the map, or to the combat tracker.
Oh, did mine not roll for some reason?
You don't look like you're in there.
Weird.
Sometimes they get a little crazy and don't stay in the dice area.
Aww. Initiative. Roll.
There you go.
There we go.
Oh, nice initiative.
Thank you.
That was worth the wait.
Yeah.
All right, at the top of the order, we have Lafferty. So this gentleman, obviously he's a little discombobulated for a second as he steps through, reaching for this fallen fellow, and suddenly he's surrounded by all of you lot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you got, Lafferty?
So Lafferty may not have paid attention whether we are to kill this person or subdue. So he is going to drink his experimental elixir and increase his speed.
Oh, you druggy, man.
He's like... and then he's just going to think terrible thoughts about Cloakman number 20, and that's his turn.
All right. And you're remaining where you are there, Lafferty?
Indeed.
He's extra fast, but he'll stay there.
But
Yes.
he'll stay there. Okay, Nightingale.
And I
This-
go ahead. You're saying something?
Nope, I was just going to say this fellow has stepped through your illusion and he's kind of got the like,
Yeah.
what just happened?
The fuck?
Can I see Cloak Man number 3 from where I am? You said I
Yes, you
saw
can.
him kind of walk in.
Yep. You saw him walk into your line of sight.
I will cast Hold Person on Cloak Man number 3.
Sick. That'll drop the illusion, right?
So
The illusion's already dropped.
Oh, okay.
I feel
Magical apologies. Magical apologies.
I feel held myself.
Dang.
Oh, he succeeded on the save.
He did.
So he is not nothinged.
So just read the spell to us as we were
Choose a
talking
humanoid
about.
you can see within range. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. On a success, the spell ends on the target. So he didn't have anything. He doesn't probably even know nothing happened to him.
Oh, I think he knows something happened to him.
It doesn't say.
Well,
Because
It was just a little breeze.
it was just magical energy swirled
Oh.
around him for a bit.
my mind struggled against something. I know, I'm
Against
good.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was, and I will stay put. That was my attempt to make sure others aren't notified, but that's okay.
All right. And that's it for you, Nightingale?
I will also say take them alive. We need to question them. And that's it. End of my turn. Get him, Lieutenant
All right.
Dan.
All right.
Okay. Lieutenant Arden.
Hey, I would like to run up towards him. And then I would say that I have my shield out, but my sword is or maybe I free actioned and stowed my sword. Is that possible?
Are you drawing another weapon?
Nope. I wish to grapple this guy.
Okay, so yeah, you can use
Free-handed
your
grapple.
you can definitely sheath your sword and grapple away. Yes.
All right.
Grapple as your action.
Yeah, technically it uses up one of your attacks, I think, to try to grapple.
Yep. That'll be
Okay, so it's a contested roll, I believe.
You got this. You've been working at the gym.
Oh yeah, I told you I was
nice.
vibing, guys.
Yeah.
So he has to roll
Holy
acrobatics
moly.
or athletics, whatever. Whatever
Yeah,
he looks-
I really feel I got this one.
Yeah.
25. That's awesome.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. And then, so what did I move? 10 feet. So I still have 20 feet of movement. So I can move half my speed while grappling an opponent.
Yep.
So I'm going to drag him kind of this way. So he'd be in the square directly to my left.
Nice.
And then I'm going to give him with my other attack action, I'm going to give him a punch to the gut.
Take the wind out of him.
Yeah. See if I can start just whittle him down, but not with like lethality. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Okay.
Non-lethal.
yeah, non-lethal. So we're like grappling and I'm like,
You mean you're not going to try to rip his intestines out or his heart or
Yeah.
anything like that?
I
Show
bite
it
his
to him.
neck.
I am, but non-lethally.
In a non-lethal manner.
So what do I got here? I guess that would be, I don't have unarmed attack in my thing, but +7 still, right? Because-
Yeah. What's your
Yep.
strength bonus?
Yeah. So I'll just roll the attack with my sword, but it's not a sword. Oh no, because that's +1. Because here, -1 from this.
You can just put that in the modifier thing down on the bottom left.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Put a
okay.
-1 in there and roll your attack.
Put whatever adjustment you need to the modifier in there.
Okay, cool. And then target this fool, and then
Oh,
miss.
he's struggling.
That's okay. But this guy can't move unless he uses. Now he has to use a full action in order to try to break free.
To
from
break the grapple. Yeah.
So he's not moving anywhere, but he can attack me. He can still attack.
Alrighty.
I like it.
Well, coincidentally, Cloaked Man 20 is going to try and break your grapple.
All right. I have your notes, so I'm very fit.
He rolls an athletics check again, and it's against you.
Yeah, we contest again.
Yeah, it's always a contested, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oof.
oh my
Oh
god.
yeah, vibing.
Oh,
boy.
he nearly broke free. This was his effort. Eh. Eh.
They don't pay me enough to get hurt.
Yeah, so I mean, technically, it's not pinned, right? But it's very much like
Yeah, you're just kind of
ongoing movement.
struggling
I've got, like,
with each
locked
other.
in, and we're kind of like hockey fighting.
Hockey fighting, yes.
Yeah.
He yells out, "Trouble in the cave!"
Shit.
All right, that takes us to Landis.
Landis will move next to Cloaked Man 20. Am I able to see Cloaked Man 3 from that location? I believe so.
Yes,
Alright,
you can.
Wow.
I shall cast Magic Missile at Cloaked Man 3.
Non-lethally.
Nope, this is taking this bugger out. Okay, so that is automatically hits him. I'll read it. You all know it, but you create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits the creature of your choice. You can see within range, and the dart does a d4 plus 1 force damage. All darts strike simultaneously if directed at the same target. So. And that's where Landis will end his turn.
I think it did your damage wrong, though.
It missed 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
It only did 1 plus 1. So if you can add 2 points to that damage.
That's very strange, eh?
It may have just been the way I did it.
Yeah, I think you have to cast, do the damage one at a time or something.
Yeah, to get that +1 each time. All right, that was on Cloaked Man 3.
Yes.
And 3 additional point, no, 2 additional points of damage.
2 additional, so
Okay.
9 points total, yeah.
Excellent. All right, as Landis's magic missiles flash out of the cave, striking this individual outside, you hear outside the area just erupt in yells.
Oh, snap.
We didn't get dressed up for nothing. So more have been alerted, you're saying?
Maybe.
No, it's just foxes.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just, they were
Animals. Animals just took off running.
Oh
yeah.
boy. Yeah. Calamity.
Calamity. The end is near, my woodland friends. Let's run.
All right.
We got a good bottleneck here. Let's just poke Douglan in the doorway.
Yeah, here comes the meat shield.
Just taking care of a little housekeeping,
Taking care
which
of
will take us to Douglan.
All right, Douglan is going to step right here. Do I have line of sight?
On our poor fellow outside,
Indeed.
you do.
All right. He's going to grab one of his non-magical, a javelin, not the javelin of lightning, and he's going
Okay.
to chuck it at cloaked man number 3. First one is away. Where are you? Where are you? There we go. All right. Let's try another one. He's not very good at these. by the
You
way.
and javelins, eh?
Yeah, he's terrible at these. He's got like he broke his wrist at one time. So he can't quite do it.
There we go.
Yeah, that one worked.
There we go. All right. Oh, good lord.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
I just wanted to go camping.
you threw these. Yeah, exactly.
Just
We're
wanted
just out here trying to camp. You whip your 2 javelins. One just barely grazes his arm. Doesn't seem too badly wounded from it.
Really?
He's got like a kink. Yeah, his wrist doesn't quite break like it's supposed to.
He's putting up a good show.
Yeah. That I'm just gonna stay right there.
All right. That takes us to the cloaked man himself. He, draws his light crossbow and takes a shot at Douglan. It just deflects off your armor into the wall. It hits it at a strange angle. And that takes us to the top of the order with Lafferty.
I like how it does a bell for round 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ding, ding.
All right. So he quickly goes
Quickly,
to
does he?
Does he have line of sight on 3 from there? Would you say?
It's pretty crowded in front of you, Lafferty. I'm going to have to say no.
All right. So he's got an extra 10 of movement. He's going to. Oh. How about now?
Sure. Depending on what you're going to do. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna cast a spell that is got a nice long range to it. What do you call it? Sorry.
Healing
I don't
word?
know.
No, yeah, I'm gonna do healing word. No, it's a chill touch. It's got 120 foot range.
All right.
Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah, you just put your hand between Douglan's
Yeah.
legs and fire the. It's a little cold for Douglan, but
Go like this, right under Douglan's junk. It gets like.
Ooh,
Anyway.
it's a little frosty in here in the tunnel.
Oh, that was almost a 1.
Almost, man. And go down, man. Go down. You just see this like black and purple hand just comes out and grabs him by his neck, and you just see his eyes and his face go blue, and he just plumps to the ground.
All right. Just a ice cube falls on the ground and kind of breaks apart in a few chunks. Dead. Nightingale.
I will take the dash action and head to there.
You're leaving the nest.
I am leaving the nest. I want to see what's out here.
Can you pick a square there for me, buddy? All right. You run out, and this is what you see. 6.
There's a couple of children. There's some women cooking at the fire.
I know, eh?
Couple of sticks with marshmallows on the end.
Yeah. A pet dog.
Mhm.
And they're all just looking at you like, what? Yeah, there's a few people here.
Our dog.
Okay.
Oh, shoot. Down there, too.
Trying to be a quick thinker, Nightingale will... No, it's probably not going to work. I was like, I'll pretend to care that Cloakman 3 was dead, as if I'm on their side. That'd be a hard one to pull off at this point in the game. Well, I don't have any actions left, so
You
still move
dashed
10
to
more
get
feet.
there, did you?
I had to dash to get her.
Okay.
That's me.
Excellent.
I bet
do
you
have-
one.
You do have 10 more feet if you wanted to move a bit more in any direction.
Yeah, I don't think any other direction. I think I'm pretty good right here.
Word.
I'm kind of behind a tree, so maybe 2, 34, and 29. Don't quite have a great shot at me, but that's life and the fast lane.
You are telling us there's more out there, right?
All right. That's it for you then, Nightingale?
Yeah. I'm not alluding that I have people with me. Come on. It's the only advantage we have right now.
It's true.
Cloakman 34 with a scimitar drawn is racing around the corner, sees you, and is kind of turning. Is he gonna dash? What are we doing here? Yeah, he's gonna dash right up to you. I'm gonna get rid of our dead. He will dash right up to you with his scimitar drawn. But he dashed to get there, so that is his move. Our cloaked man over here is going to also dash towards the cave entrance. I'll have to leave him there. Which takes us to Lieutenant Arden. It's gotten real noisy outside, Lieutenant.
Yes. Well, I think I'm going to pivot around like so. Not actually leaving his, well, we're grappled anyways, not actually leaving his range. And then I believe that for no action, I can just release the grapple. And then I will draw my sword and have at thee.
All right.
A couple quick swipes. Looks like we've stumbled into more than we expected. Right. Number 1.
Yes. Wowzers.
Wowzers.
Are you sure you don't want to keep Arden?
Oh.
One-shot kill.
You just threw him with your sword right through the heart. Just
Perfect.
back out again.
And then I will do some more movement, and I will hold the line at the entrance of the cave, and I'll shout out, Douglan, join me at the front lines.
You're right there.
Make it quick.
Just a little chilly down below right now. Just warming up.
Yeah. He's like,
Okay, that takes us to our dark robe man, who takes the dodge action. All right, cloaked man 2. Races up with his sword drawn, ready to engage Lieutenant Arden.
Brace with my shield.
You got this.
Oh, you can attack? Nice.
He had to dash to get there.
Sweet.
All right, our dog friend
Who's a cute little animal bred for lethality?
also comes in, launching itself. It had to dash to get there as well, Lieutenant. So,
I should have a attack of opportunity
yeah, I guess you would go for it.
within 10 feet.
Nice.
It says, oh, wrong person. Sorry.
You
Slash
attacked
with
Lieutenant
in
Arden.
the back.
Ah! We know you're the leak.
Yeah. Just then, Douglan, who's been undercover this whole time, turns on the party.
Oh yeah.
You strike Fluffy.
Oh.
You kill Fluffy.
The thing comes in, I just skewer it. It's just like it more than anything runs into the halberd versus me striking down on it.
Oh, is
This
that how you're
family
gonna
never stood
live
a
with
chance.
yourself at night?
Yeah, it's really the dog did it.
The
Hey,
dog ran into my weapon.
I didn't kill the guy. It was the concrete when he fell off the building that killed him.
All right, that takes us to Cloaked Man 29. Where are you? He turns around, drawing his scimitar, preparing to off Corey Fairbanks.
They're not very friendly.
He dashed to get there, so that is it for his turn. Landis.
Now, if I move behind Lieutenant Arden, am I able to see Cloaked Man 2 for an attack?
If you go between Lieutenant Arden and Douglan, yes. If you go to the right of him, no, the rock is blocking. And again, I mean, obviously you're if you're firing something at him.
Yeah, like line of sight is different than just being able to see something, right?
Yeah.
It's like if you're shooting a projectile, then yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bad thing. But if it's like paralyzed, for example, then as far as I
No,
understand it.
this is shooting a projectile. So
Yeah. Be careful. Boing. Ah, what's happening?
yeah. What are you guys turning against me? What's going on?
Lieutenant Arden's just getting wailed on by the party accidentally. Usually we're better at this.
I can move to there.
You
Using
can.
10 of my movement, I will shoot Cloaked Man number 2 with a frostbite. Cause numbing frost to form on the creature. I can see within range. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 2d6 cold damage and has disadvantage on its next weapon attack roll.
Nice.
Failure.
He failed his save.
That was
That sounded
violent.
harsh.
Now, I don't know how to place disadvantage on his next attack roll. It doesn't have that anywhere in the spell for me to grab and drop on it.
Oh, it looked like it did it automatically. If you look
Did it?
on his icon there, there's a little.
That
mark in the bottom
just basically shows he failed.
Oh, that he's got damage.
If you get
on
a
the-
check mark, he succeeded. If you get an X,
No, there's a bloodied symbol or something there. That's what it is.
he gets
Oh, yeah.
disadvantage on his next turn.
On his next attack roll, yeah. As he's
Before the
a
start of
little
your.
frosty. Yeah,
Little
before the start
frosty.
of my next turn. Before the end of his next turn, if he
Oh.
makes an attack, he gets disadvantage. But after
Okay.
that, it's
When I can throw disadvantage on him
thank
for
you.
his next attack. That's no problem.
And then I will move back out of the way of Douglan.
Much
All right.
obliged.
And that takes us to another dark-robed man.
Every girl crazy about dark.
Dark Road Man. Nice.
All right. What am I gonna do here? Yeah, he's gonna move to there. He doesn't really have a clean line of sight on anyone, so he's gonna take the dodge action this round. Our second guard dog is going to attack Lieutenant Arden. You want to take your hit there, Douglan?
I know.
No,
I
this
don't
is the
have
same
a
round. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
same
used your
round.
reaction already. Yep. So he will take an attack on Lieutenant Arden.
Down, boy. Down.
Oh,
Ooh.
Just
What does that mean?
critical damage, nothing additional.
imagine if he decapitated you. That'd just blow my mind.
Oh, that would not be pleasant. So, yeah, that would just not be pleasant. That would just not make me a happy
That
guy.
is a critical option. Oh. Oh.
Oof.
And you must make a strength save.
Yo, that.
I can do it.
Oh!
from this end.
Oh, where's my
You-
vibes? It's because you're rolling them for him.
You failed, and you are knocked prone.
Stop rolling my dice for me, man.
You rolled that 10 when we vibed earlier. Give me a break.
I don't want you rolling my dice.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that dog just tears into you, knocking you on your ass, Lieutenant.
Mm.
Douglan.
All right. Well, I'm going to see if I can't get a little. Payback. First attack. Actually, I have two attacks. Aha. plus a bonus. How about that? First attack with the little doggy. Let's see if I get him off. Maybe that'll do it.
You hit.
Ooh. Nope. Second attack on the little doggy. Off, little doggy. Am I a dog killer? Is that what I've become?
Clearly, you are a dog killer. Yeah.
Landis is giving you some dirty looks.
Wow, that dog was very humanoid.
Yeah, the scream he let out.
And then he is going to. Do you want to clear out dog 11s? Yeah, and I'm gonna.
You killed Fluffy and Fluffy too.
Yeah, a Fido and then with my bonus attack, I'm gonna use the butt end and see if I can't hit this guy right in the nuggets. Yes, there you go. Take that, buddy. Separate them testicles. Yeah.
Ouch. What a way to go.
Quit laying around, Lieutenant. We got work to do.
I'm in a lot of pain here.
Not just a flesh wound.
I'm gonna stay right there. So hopefully they come to me.
All right. That takes us to the top of the order with Lafferty.
Ooh, Lafferty. All right. Boop, 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 boop. Can I see 29 from there?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna see if I can't choke him with my dark, menacing hand. Sounds so bad. I mean, it's really dark. I'm not gonna lie. Chill touch. I would like to cast chill touch in a friendly manner.
Just read chill touch for us.
Yes. You create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range. It's 120 feet. So I'm actually casting it over there.
Yep. I'm good with that.
Okay.
It manifests there.
Yeah. Cool beans.
Chill out, touch, bro.
Yeah, chill, man. Why
Well,
such
man,
hostilities?
Why is it you need a chill touch?
Hey, sorry, Colin. Could you clear Cloak Man? Why am I targeting myself, dude? That's so dumb. We don't want to do that. All right. I think I got it. Oh, there we go. There we go. And again, another spectral. So, yeah, I'm not even going to describe that because I'm kind of freaking myself out.
I'm not even going to describe what
Actually,
I just
you know
did.
what? Instead of going for the neck, he.
Ow. Dead.
What a way to go.
All right, that's it for you, Lafferty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Nightingale.
As my bonus action, I will disengage.
Run away.
And oh, I wasn't done yet. Now, can I take the hide action? Like I run behind the bushes and dive into them and hide? They can't see me. So wouldn't I be able to hide?
It's not very far away, and those bushes don't offer a lot of cover.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to say no. Does that change your movement?
Maybe.
You mean it's not like Skyrim where you can't just hide 10 feet away from them and break
Yeah.
Come on, he put his finger up.
Yeah.
There's no way he can see.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll disengage, and as I'm moving around the tree, I'll pull out my bow and put my other weapon away.
All right, as you emerge where you are there, to the east of you, you see a man that's been crouched down, doing his best to hide.
That's what I was just trying to do.
He was doing his best to. It's not working because you now see him.
Now, drawing and stowing a weapon, is that an action?
You can drop a weapon and pull a weapon.
No.
You can't stow a weapon and pull a weapon.
I can only stow a weapon as an action.
So stowing
As
would be
your
free.
free
Drawing your
action.
other weapon would be
Yeah.
your action.
Yeah, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. You can drop a weapon and
Yeah.
pull
No,
another.
No,
weapon.
I'm not dropping
Yeah.
my weapon.
Okay.
Coiling it up nice and gingerly and putting it in its fastener. All while
it's-
running around the bushes.
It's fur-lined case I had
Yeah.
made for it. Is that it for you, Nightingale?
That's it for Nightingale, yeah.
All right. Your new opponent. What are we gonna do here?
Run away.
He is going to. He's going to drop his sword, pull his crossbow, and take a shot at Douglan. There'll be no more scimitaaring for him. Woo! He hit you, Douglan.
Ouch! Right in the thigh. Right into the thigh. Woo.
Oh, nah.
Not again.
Yeah. That one hurt. That one hit your armor pretty hard on. Didn't pierce it, but gave you a good wallop.
Please don't say hard on when something gets shot inside of me.
Oh, God. All right. Cloaked Man 21. What is he going to do here? He's going to run straight into the thick of it.
Stop!
Yep.
Stop right there.
That's what I'm waiting for.
You're so like, oh God, here it comes again.
I've gotten used to my inability to approach.
Did it hit? Yeah. All right. It took a little edge off.
All right. And he attacks Douglan with his scimitar.
Well,
He
stopped.
can't move.
Yeah, his.
Oh, did he?
sentinel
That's right. He did get hit. Didn't
did
he?
get-
Sorry.
yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen.
You know, I'm gonna read. I think Sentinel only stops you when you're. No, it's an opportunity.
Opportunity
attack.
attack. So that's
Yeah,
why it's
yeah.
so potent. It's a very
Yeah.
potent
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
power gamer.
makes it
Yeah.
very hard to get
Wow.
at Douglan.
Power
You know,
gamer.
I'm trying to keep everybody off. I mean, I just saved us.
That's what I get for saving all of you.
Yeah, forget it. I'm relinquishing my Sentinel.
All right, Lieutenant.
All right, I will
so-
get up with half my movement, and then I will run to here. And
Nice.
first, I will attack this fool with my sword. I'll run up, kind of like bash their weapons away as I get between them and take a swipe at this guy. Come on. Advantage.
Holy double 20!
Holy
Nice.
moly!
There's the vibe.
You just rolled 2 20s, man.
But why did I have advantage?
Because that guy was knocked prone, I believe.
No, you shouldn't have been.
Oh well, it was
Either way,
220s.
220s
so we'll
means I
call
would have rolled a
you
20,
know what?
right?
It was disadvantage because you're still marked as prone. So you earned that 20, my friend.
Yeah, you rolled 2 20s and it took
Yeah.
the lowest, which was just a 20.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
it. Here, I'll get
Amazing.
rid of prone there. Yeah, you popped up.
You
That's
vibed
amazing.
it. You
You're
vibed it.
Oh, I'm vibing. I
Wow.
told you guys.
You
The vibe.
vibing, man.
The vibe.
That's some serious rolling right there. I have
Yeah.
disadvantage and I rolled 2 20s.
Nice.
So I lay into him with 14 damage.
Wow.
He's got a lot of hit points, that one.
Cloaked man, a little heartier.
And then the other guy, So wait, first let me. Okay, wait. I got these effects. You know what I mean? I got these effects.
We got you.
So
Work your magic, man. Work your magic.
Work it, baby.
Drag it on top of them. There we go. And then the other guy, I will attack him with my other attack as I come across and do from down upward strike, try to get under his line of sight. Yes.
Boom.
Oops, not a d20. Oof. Not too bad, but he is also affected with the unwavering mark,
He also has the affliction.
the affliction.
Nicely done.
And then I will bonus action second wind.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah.
Gonna ride his reign.
Feeling good.
I'm feeling good. I got this.
I'm back at it. Natural 20 on disadvantage. He like crawled over, swung at that guy. Screw it. Gets up, stabs at the other guy, heals himself. Ah!
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm vibing, bro.
All right. That's it for you, Lieutenant?
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
That's all. I'm not gonna brag that I just totally TSN turning point.
All right. Our dark robe man reaches up and he blasts forth fingers of energy towards Lieutenant Arden, casting magic missile at him. Now, I think I need to roll this damage one at a time. We just saw to do this correctly, don't we?
Or do a modifier of +2, and then you can right-click a few extra dice. Then.
Yep. I'm going to give that a try, see if it works. All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
my.
that worked.
Almost.
Oh, God, really? 1, 1, 2.
I love it. It's perfect.
So these fingers of light burst forth from this robed figure, striking the lieutenant. But you're not too badly damaged by them. They seem not to be as effective as the dark robed figure hoped. And that's it for him. All right, our cloaked man that has appeared to Nightingale engages. Flailing his scimitar at you, Nightingale, his first swing. Misses. You dodge. His second swing at you. Also misses. Just dodge and weave. Nicely done. And he'll remain there. Landis.
I shall move to the opening that was left by brave Sir Arden.
Brave Sir Arden. Yes.
And again, pulling on the great energies of magic, another frostbite is cast at Cloaked Man 21. As the air temperature begins to drop around his hands. But he succeeds, so nothing happens.
Got a little frosty around him, but that was it.
Didn't quite get to a cold enough temperature for him to feel any pain or discomfort. And then Landis will move am I able to move there? Like scoot around the side of the cave?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think you can be on that spot you're on. That's rock there, I think.
Is that all rock? Okay. So,
You're just going to step back?
yeah, I'll just step back out of the way.
Okay.
If I can't get around without moving into his swinging range, then I won't do it.
Gotcha.
Which I can't. Go get him, Lafferty!
Our next dark-robed man, he's going to use his firebolt, firing at Lieutenant Arden.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
His firebolt strikes.
It.
You're a little toasted by his firebolt, Lieutenant. He's going to hold his ground there right now, and that takes us to Douglan.
All right.
Join the fun.
Come join the fun.
Please! Uh-oh, here comes the Papa Bear out of the cave. Family camping trip has gone downhill.
Pokemon 21. Let's see if we can't take a little piece out of him. Excellent. All right, I am going to throw a smite on there. First. The Fury of God upon ya!
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
That tough guy.
So, part of that skill, Colin, is I can use half of my movement to disengage, but then I wouldn't have any movement left, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go right here. I'm going to go right here and take a second shot at this guy.
Cloaked Man 34.
Yeah. I liked how Lieutenant Arden split the fun.
Oh yeah.
And then I have a bonus, so I'm going to go back to Cloaked Man 21. Give him a little butt end. Again, right between the testicles. That's a
that
special
halberd is just flailing around.
Ooh.
Nice.
Nice.
Oh, all right. Trying to take some heat off you, Lieutenant.
Very good.
All right, that takes us to the top of the order with Lafferty.
Okay.
And we're headed into the fourth round. The team is looking pretty good. Lieutenant Arden has taken all the blows.
So,
Yeah, pretty much so.
I can 20-foot. I think it's a diameter. So, would I, if I can move this? Do I make it bigger? I hit control to make it bigger. I'm going to cast sleep, and it's a 20-foot, 90 feet range, and a 20-foot.
I think
Diameter?
Square, isn't it?
Yeah, creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose within range are affected in ascending order. It just says 20 feet. So
is
should
sleep
give
a
a shape.
diameter or a square?
It should
It's
give
not-
a shape.
let's see. The spell, creature dimensional slumber, Roll a d8, 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell will affect. Creatures within 20 feet of a point you choose. So I pick a point, anything within 20 feet of that. That's the way I'm reading it. Does that sound right?
I'll look it up here.
Yeah,
I'm just looking
it
at
doesn't say.
It shows 20-foot circle. Yeah. I'm looking at the range
Yeah,
area
it's a sphere.
here.
Yeah, it's a sphere. It's a 20-foot sphere. Yeah.
Okay. Now, you're trying to get Cloakman 21, Dark Robe Man.
It's
It's the people you choose, right?
No, it's every creature. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I would cast this at a point that is, what do you call it? You know what? No, I'm not going to do that.
I don't think you're going to be able to get both of them without getting Douglan in there.
I'm not going to do that. All right, so I'm going to just take this guy out, hopefully.
Why? Just put Douglan to sleep and then wake him up.
Yeah, and then he goes down and gets advantage on if they shoot shit at him.
It probably wouldn't actually put him to sleep.
Yeah, he's probably got way
He has so many hit points.
That's true.
And it goes in ascending order, right? So by the time it gets to him,
Yeah.
it's up
Okay.
to you.
So, question. Well, let's put a point here. It's not a 20-foot diameter. It is 20 feet. So
10-foot diameter. No, it's 20 feet from a center point, so it's a 20-foot diameter circle.
It's a 20-foot diameter.
basically that would get them both and Douglan.
Yes.
Okay, so I will. I think it targets it. Yeah. I gotta roll 5d8.
Did you target all of them?
Well, it just puts them unconscious is the effect on the spell. I don't have an effect.
Right.
So I was just going to roll the 5d8.
Then we do the math.
Yeah. All right, so 18. I assume 21 might be the first guy.
21, 18, and it has to bring him to 0, right?
Yeah, if he has less than 18 hit points, he falls asleep.
He does not.
Sucks. How about Cloaked Man, Dark Robed Man?
No, it doesn't work that way.
Well, whoever has the lowest.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
the
but you
lowest
pick-
guy.
No, you don't pick it. It just automatically goes with the lowest first.
Yeah, but if there's not enough to put him to sleep, like
Then
say,
nobody
say
can.
well, it takes the remain. It's like a countdown. So like, if he had 15 hit points, there'd be 3 left over to try to get.
Try to put the next guy to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why it doesn't like. Oh, it didn't get him. Does it get the next guy?
And it starts with the highest hit points in
Nope,
that group.
starts with the
Lowest.
lowest.
With the
Yeah,
lowest.
it says
So the-
ascending order.
So
yeah.
I gotta tell you who the. So let me check Dark Robed Man here.
If neither have less than
He
18,
would go to sleep.
Dark
least-
Robe Man.
Yeah, the Dark
Yeah,
Robed
so
Man in
there you
there
go.
is.
So yeah,
is
he goes.
asleep.
Okay.
Nobody
So,
else does.
All right, so I'll drop that on him, and that's it. All
Yeah,
right.
for some reason I thought it was the other way around. I thought you started with the highest one, but that wouldn't make sense.
No, nobody would ever go to sleep.
You would
right?
just burn up everything in the first person.
Yeah.
All right. He collapses to the ground in a restful slumber.
And he is going to move right to here. That's it.
Alrighty. That takes us to Nightingale.
So having, dodged this guy's 2 saber strikes, Nightingale kind of drops and does a back roll to disengage out of this guy, moves to here, and then draws his bow and lets an arrow fly at Cloaked Man 26.
Nice.
You
Barely
miss.
misses him. Barely.
You had to get pretty athletic there to get away from him, so. Little off balance when you let the arrow fly.
And
But
then with my
typical
last
penumbra.
5... What?
You were more worried about the performance. How it looked.
I do believe that was 25 feet of movement, and then I'll take the last 5 to there.
So, how did you disengage?
My bonus action. As
Right.
a rogue, I can disengage.
Yeah, I just had to remind myself. I knew you had something to disengage. That's your...
Yes.
All right, is that it for you, Nightingale?
I will tell Douglan that there's one coming up the pathway. Douglan, there's one coming up the pathway here. Why am I speaking like you? I don't know.
Who's coming?
Oh, God.
Okay.
All right.
Corey, I'll get him for you.
Oh, no. There's been some strange magical change of voices. Okay, so we go to Cloaked Man 21.
He's asleep.
No, he's not.
It's the dark robe.
The dark robed guy is
Oh,
asleep.
sorry. It just highlighted over top of my turn on my screen, so I thought.
Okay, so...
I've let you know whose turn it is.
Right.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying on my... Yeah. That's not Cloakman 21?
Bookman 21 is the one right beside you.
Yeah, he's asleep, isn't he?
No, it's the other guy.
Nope. It's
Oh, it's the other one.
Dark cloaked
Oh, I
versus
see what you're
dark
saying.
robe.
Sorry. Wow,
Dark
so that
robe
guy,
man
even though
is
he
asleep.
was injured, he still has more than 18 hit points.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a
he
tough.
does.
He's a toughie, man.
Dang.
You guys got him. You guys got him.
All right. What is he gonna do here? I guess he's just going to take a swing at each of you as he
All right.
doesn't
Hey,
have much other choices.
I'll give you a hint. Hit Douglan first, otherwise I get to hit him.
Just a second here. Let me just drop a thing.
No, this
Oh,
guy's
no.
screwed no matter who he attacks.
Yeah, because it's if you
You did a
Yeah.
thing so that he has to
Yeah.
attack you.
and Sentinel allowed if he attacks anyone besides me within 5 feet.
Yeah, so he can attack Douglan, but he's gonna have disadvantage against Douglan. But he doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. You're like,
Yeah, it's all happening at once, right? So it's like
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So he will attack Douglan.
it should be active. You should be able to just roll it.
Did
I
you
have to-
put protected on
I
Douglan?
did.
yeah,
I did. Yep.
Okay. Let's see how this works.
no.
You put it on him, I think. I see it on
Yeah.
Cloakman 21.
Well, I put.
No, it should be if it sees protected, it gives him disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
'cause
does
I
say
put-
Now, should the protected be on the
Oh.
character?
Oh,
like, be
protected
on
disappeared.
Douglan?
Protected disappeared on Douglan.
Okay,
Yeah,
just put it back on there because I'd like to see this work.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean,
It's actually sitting on Cloaked Man 29 or 21 right now. You can see it in the combat tracker.
No, that's the other. There's the disadvantage in brackets protected. That's the one that's the trigger for protected. So
Okay.
There's
Yeah.
kind of two
Cool.
parts to this.
yeah, it's two parts.
You put the effect on the attacker and then
Gotcha.
protected on the.
Don't play Cavalier in Fantasy Ground.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Worked that time.
Oh, and a 1 too. That's awesome.
Out.
Don't play Cavalier.
All right, and for his second attack on Lieutenant.
I think that qualifies as him because it's an attack action. It's your call, but I assume because he attacked me that he now has satisfied the Sentinel, right?
As soon as he attacks me, then you can use Sentinel.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I thought.
It's on someone other than Douglan.
Right. Okay. So if he, he can attack.
So he's going to attack with his second attack.
But it's
he's
still
gonna
a
attack.
reaction. So did you use your reaction?
Before?
No, we're in a new
Yeah.
round now.
Oh yeah,
so
because you
he's-
finish off the round. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you can, with your reaction, use
You-
Sentinel again.
Oh, that was almost a big TO. Anti.
Ooh.
This dude is hardy, man.
Yeah.
Ooh. Holy.
He might be the leader.
Ooh, I was trying to get him to sleep. No go. Don't you hit my friend.
Now he gets the attack off.
Yeah, now he gets his attack.
Oh, it's a skimmy attack.
Not a particularly deadly attack against you, Lieutenant. And now you have a chance to do something about that.
All right. Well, his health is so low. So because he made that attack against someone else, and he was marked, I technically could use one of these unwavering bonus attacks, but I think I'm just gonna, seeing as how he's all super injured and weak. Oh, but it does give me advantage on the attack. Screw it. I'm doing it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Advantage. And damage. Cool. Plus, we got to test these things. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
I might want to mark him, or target him. There we go. All right. Yeah. Oh, another natty.
You are on
Wow.
fire.
Ow!
Holy
Wow.
cow.
And it does bonus damage equal to half my fighter level as well. So this will be.
Hey, Barry, I'm going to miss Lieutenant Arden.
He's still up? Holy crap. A good thing I did that, actually. That's only once per turn. Yeah, okay, once per turn. So did it go away?
The effect?
Yeah, after I attack. If a creature marked by you does anything. The bonus shot. Oh, that was my bonus action to do the special attack. Okay, so that means I still have 2 regular attacks.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, you were saying that was a bonus because it was that part of your
that
Cavalier.
mark. Yeah.
Really nice.
Unwavering mark.
Let's see how many more 20s you can roll.
So
I'd say save some for the rest of us, but you just keep doing what you're doing
Yeah.
there, Lieutenant Arden.
Yeah, you do what you got to
Hey,
do.
don't interrupt him when he's doing his magic.
Damn, dude.
Oh.
Vibing, baby. Vibing.
Dude, this guy
Holy
is a freaking
smokes.
tank. Are you?
No, you
have a
haven't
home.
been damaging him. I don't know.
Oh,
you're-
what? Who am I damaging?
You just did 27 damage.
Nobody. You don't have anyone targeted.
Oh, what the F? Well,
He's down anyway.
okay.
I was gonna
He's
say,
gone.
man, if he's still up after another 27 damage.
I don't
Well,
know
I was
how
trying to
long-
find him on the combat tracker. I'm like, he should be down by now.
Yeah. I hit him with the first attack, though, right? The bonus attack one.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
maybe it reset it, so because it did all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
could've.
then yeah.
Okay, he is down.
Now, did the first attack knock him down? Like the bonus attack?
The first attack knocked him down.
Okay, so then I will.
Not the bonus, but the first.
Sorry, everybody.
No, not the bonus, but the first actual attack. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then I
So
can
you
still
have
move and take
movement
my
and
last
attack.
attack.
Oh, he's
Oh,
asleep.
Yeah,
He's
he's
So that's the
asleep.
sleeping one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Get the one going after.
Yeah.
Nightingale.
1, 2, 3,
Corey.
4, 5. There we go. Move down there. Yeah.
Are you
wanna leave the
moving
sleeping-
through the bushes there?
I'm going around the bushes. And,
So
Okay.
do the first, yeah.
yeah, I measured it out. It should be
Yep.
fine, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, that's all I
Um,
was just checking to make sure.
Okay,
you
so this
had
is my
around
last
it.
attack. Target. There we go.
No, you keep going. We're not going to keep count.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Douglan's
No,
gonna take a knee.
we're
for a
not.
while.
We're not keeping track. We're not
Okay.
keeping track.
All
Nice.
right. Boom. And that guy is Mark. Boom. All right. That's my turn.
All right.
I don't want to say anything, Douglan, but I never seen a real fighter before.
Yeah, when everything comes online, Cavalier is really
Yeah, it's
cool.
pretty intense.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say, Nightingale, can you give me a perception check, please? Actually, Nightingale and Douglan.
I don't see whatever it was. because
Okay.
me and Douglan were looking at each other like, what's going on, man? You see Lieutenant Arden killing everything?
I know. We're just watching Lieutenant Arden. We're so enamored by how he's moving, and wow, who is this guy?
Why are you doing that?
Arden's running around like, peasant scum, die.
Yeah, you too, you dooms.
Sorry, my highborn prejudice
Perfect.
coming through
Perfect
in
form.
the height of
now.
battle.
I'm still working on it.
It's still waiting on
That's awesome.
it. Years of family indoctrination.
Guy just disappears.
I don't know, did he? No one noticed.
I'm all zoomed in. I didn't see what happened.
All right. Cloakman 26 attacks Lieutenant Arden. This is the moment he's been training for.
For getting attacked again.
Doom versus Vanguard. Tale as old as time.
Fling off the shield. Just
Misses with his first swing, coming back around with his second swing. Also misses.
parry with the long sword.
Wow, look at that Lieutenant Arden go. All right, Landis.
I will make my way out of the cave. You just okay some movement, DM?
I can certainly do that.
So from here I can see dark robed man who is clearly asleep laying on the ground.
Yes.
Dead cloaked man 22. And I can probably make out Lieutenant Arden fighting somebody, but I can't tell what, right?
Correct.
Through the
I
shrub.
will then take the dodge action.
Excellent.
Really
Ard-
key, decisive dodge action.
Oh, that's a pivotal moment. That's the TSN turning point of the game.
Yeah.
Sleep.
All right. Our sleepy man.
He's in a dream sequence right now.
Dream of very large women.
So he gets to make a save.
Turns out he's an elf and he's been faking it the whole time.
Yeah. No, he's out for I think a minute at least.
Yeah, the duration of the spell, 1 minute.
Yeah.
All right. Douglan.
All right. So Douglan is going to take the dodge, or excuse me, he's going to dash to the last point where he saw the guy. And he's then going to go into his defensive posture with that great weapon. It's not the dodge action, it's that
Yep.
defensive stance.
Great weapon defense.
Great weapon defense. And I have it. I have it. I will put it on myself somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. All right. That should be on there. Yep. All right. And I sniff the air, see if I smell a dark robed man.
He's wearing oil of dark robe man. That's it for you, Douglan.
Yes, indeed.
Lafferty.
All righty. With his super movement of 40, he's going to come to right about here. Let's pick that square.
Oh yeah, you got your speed potion.
Yep.
Handy.
Yes. Not that you need any help, Lieutenant Arden, but let me see if I can take a little bit off gentleman here.
As he's bleeding out of this a huge gash out of the side of his head.
I'm good, I got this.
All right, let's try Frostbite. I haven't tried that one before. Whoop, what just happened?
You cast the spell.
Wow, with
succeeded.
the dice? How did that work? I didn't realize
Colin set that up, I think.
All right, well, sorry about that. That's it. It's save or suck, man.
Yeah.
Save or suck.
Those are tough spells.
Indeed.
I should have
Nightingale.
used my touch of testicle clench instead.
Well, recently renamed spell.
Yes. Reflavored, if you will.
Nightingale will tell Landis to tie up and gag the dark robed man sleeping.
All right.
Then I will move to there. Almost there. And I will release my arrow into the man.
Into Cloaked Man 26, as his mama calls him.
Yep. No one liked Cloak Man 26. I hit him.
Yeah.
Ooh, that sounded juicy.
Oh, I think we're in the presence of more hit points.
You got him, Lieutenant Arden. I've got
You
your
got
back.
this. And that's it for you, Nightingale?
That's it for Nightingale. He'll just hold his position there.
All right. Lieutenant Arden.
Softened him up for you.
All right. Well, I guess I'll continue on in melee with this as we duel against each other. Parry, deflect, stab.
Why not?
Hit, yes. Yes.
Oh, you're just killer,
Ooh,
man.
Another hardy fella.
And attack number deuce as I swipe from overhead across his exposed forehead because it is large and ugly.
Oh, I thought it was another one.
Boy, that was close.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. It averages out in the end. There we go. And that's my turn. And I will
All right.
remark him, I guess.
Our dark-robed man is dreaming of fairies and pixie dust. Cloaked Man 26. Got not much choice but to fight it out now. First swing at the lieutenant. It connects.
Rolling well. He's rolling well.
Ooh. It's a fair slice. Second. And he misses. Landis.
I know it's emotional for you, Colin.
I really like Cloak Man 26.
Oh, he's my favorite.
I invested a lot into this character.
I got a 27-page backstory. And
None of us have even asked his name yet.
Yeah.
Landis will head over to the dark robed man sleeping on the ground, drawing out his silk rope. He'll tie up the guy and cut a bit of fabric off his cloak and stuff it in his mouth, so he can't cast any more magics.
Alrighty.
Wow, does he compete at the Calgary Stampede?
He does.
6 seconds.
Clear.
And that's probably all Landis can do.
Alrighty. It's our unconscious dark-robed man,
Tied up.
who's now all tied up.
And gagged.
Douglan.
I guess now he's going to take the dodge action, but he's looking and smelling and seeing if there's anything going on. But technically, he's just going to take the dodge.
When you check them tents out.
We're in battle, son.
I didn't mean loot them.
Oh, okay. No, I'm still taking the dodge. It's okay.
Lafferty.
Seeing as Lieutenant Arden and Nightingale should have this in hand, I'm going to move his party. Is this where you last saw him, Douglan? Yeah. I'm gonna blow his last first level spell and cast Fairy Fire, a 20-foot cube. Let's see. Let me just
So read Fairy Fire for us, please.
Yeah. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. It's going to be violet. Your choice, it says. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's good as shot as any. I'll go right there.
All right. Nothing appears within your area of effect.
Copy that. Let me check that off. And I will remove that because if it doesn't hit anyone, there's no glow, man. That is Lafferty's turn.
All right. Nightingale.
Well,
Let's finish him off.
Yeah, being that me and Lieutenant Arden are locked in combat, I will continue to fill this bastito with my pin cushions of death.
Oof. Afterwards,
So
we
your
beat you with the
pin
feelings.
cushions of miss?
We don't need to be that way.
Don't be hurtful.
Don't be hurtful.
I got dust in my eye.
And remember, you cannot take a free action of crying because you did not roll a 1.
That's right. And then I will move.
It took me a second. Why does he? Oh, yeah. Crying is free action. The new shirt. I
To
get it.
there. I'll move around these rocks.
All right.
And that's the end of Nightingale's turn.
Excellent. Lieutenant, what do you have for us?
Lieutenant, while he's been dealing with this guy, he's kind of like sneaking glances at his allies and seeing they're all like super healthy. And he's like, "You guys, what's happening over there? Could use a bit of help." And I will still just keep going.
You're doing fine.
We're locked into this.
You got this.
Oh, no.
You're
Now
an
is not the time to
You're
miss.
an NPC. We don't waste resources on you. I'm sorry.
You've got the red shirt on. I told you.
Ooh, come on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta be
Alright.
it. Come on, man. We're pulling for you.
Whoops.
Come on.
Grabbing the D20 afterwards. There we go.
Oh, nicely done.
And I will be marking him again. Marking him again. Oh, yeah. All right. That's actually. What do I want to do here? If he goes after Landis, I'm gonna pivot. Oh, I can't stand on that rock really, but I can pivot all the way around him. I'm just gonna move down to there. I'm just gonna move down.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for you, Lieutenant.
That's it. No more healing winds. You only get one. So.
All right. A cloaked man is going to strike at you again with his scimitar.
Bring it.
First attack.
Ugh, he's been rolling well.
Don't
You
worry,
deflect.
we have the beating rod of health.
Yeah.
Second attack on you.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Misses again.
He's all distracted by me moving behind him. He's trying to keep an eye on both of us.
That's right.
All right, Landis. You are tying this feller up still.
Okay. If I need to take 2 rounds to time up, then I will.
Yeah, I think to pull out a rope and get him sufficiently tied.
Unless your background was
Rodeo.
paddle, rancher hand.
You know what? Let me see what his background is. No, it's not one of those.
Oh, it's not ranch hand.
Your one was a ranch
I
hand?
thought
Okay.
for a
No
second
ranch
it was.
hand. Damn it.
All right. Douglan.
All right, I'll start poking my head into that one. Do I see anything inside, perhaps?
Inside the tent.
Yes.
Just start stabbing through the side of the tent.
There are a couple of bedrolls that are rolled out there.
I attack! No.
And a couple of backpacks that are just sitting beside the bedrolls as if someone had made camp there.
All right, I'm going to, if I may, I still have movement. Can I go to here and look at this one?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You see a similar situation. A couple of bedrolls and backpacks. Another couple of folks have made this tent home.
Okay. I'm going to stay right there. I guess I could take the dodge because I just did movement, right? Or would that be considered an action looking in?
I wouldn't give just looking in. No, I wouldn't. You're just taking a peek in there. There's no real detail you're seeing. You're just looking in quickly.
Dodge it.
That was quite the aggressive dodge.
It was.
Very aggressive dodge.
All right. Do I have line of sight from Lafferty to Bionic Man number 26?
Sleeper's prone. So
Again, I'm going to use my chill touch of...
chill out touch.
Yeah.
Lafferty to Cloakman 26. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, it's 120 foot.
Yeah, I'll give you a line of sight to him.
Well, that one manifests as well, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a manifestation again, aiming at the you-know-whats. Ooh. I tell you.
Earlobes? Earlobes.
Yeah, earlobes. Yeah, it actually comes from behind him. He
Oh,
just
yeah.
Got frostbite on his
Right.
earlobes.
Yeah, right behind.
Ow.
Some
Very cool.
necrotic. Ooh.
That
You just
hurt.
see him basically pull out his soul,
Oh,
and he
Dear
crumbles
Lord.
to the ground. And Lafferty is no, he's not. He's not doing it. He's not that fucked up. Not yet.
search the bodies. Is there any cards that say I'm a Doom member for life? Or...
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
they
there
all
a
have
badge?
their clip-on badge.
Yeah.
Yeah, search everything. Douglan's gonna search.
Would you like some healing?
from the baton of beating?
Sir Robin.
Perhaps I do have some healing potions. I think
Allow me to.
maybe I
Pick you
don't.
up.
I will take it. Oh, I have a potion of greater healing, but yeah, sure.
Actually, yeah, that's all I have for you too, is a potion of healing. I can't use the rod anymore today. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. I'll drink one of my potions of greater healing. So
Of course, Douglan was.
You've taken all the beatings. You got bruises all over you. I pull out the rod. I'm like, oh, it's already been smeared with Douglan.
Colin, just for expediency, do you mind if I just roll 4d4 plus 4, and then you can add it to my hit points afterwards?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are we out of combat, Colin?
We are.
Nightingale will go investigate or whatever the area where that guy disappeared. See if there's any tracks I can track.
Yeah. And Douglan is actually going to come back and stand.
So I'm giving
guard.
you back 12 hit points there,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Perfect.
So that's
Nice.
-1.
Yeah, Douglan's going to stand watch over the dark robe man in case that one that got away, does the old poison dart from the shadows so he doesn't talk.
Nice. He wasn't going to, but he is now.
Damn it.
And you give him some other great ideas.
Things have clearly gone combat quiet, and there's a few bodies lying around. Nightingale, you're gonna do a survival check for tracks, you said,
or an investigation for tracks, like see if I know Douglan's been around, but if I could see some tracks leading off, if possible. I understand if it's not possible. There was combat all around here.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people have been walking around. You do see, there's lots of tracks that head off to the west. It seems like it's a fairly well-walked path that heads off kind of where the trees are open there to the west on the map. But nothing you can discern as recent.
Okay. Then we'll just search everybody, see what we can find on them in the tents. Go through the bags real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Any notes from shadows, dear so and so.
All right. Searching the bodies, searching the tents, the backpacks that were in the tents, you find a fair amount of coin. In one of the backpacks, you find a small pouch with a couple of rubies in it.
Woo!
In one of in the most northern tent there, in the backpack in there is a scroll that looks of interest. Other than that, it's just what one would say would be typical
Adventurers backpack.
Adventurers equipment. And in that same backpack, you find a very finely made dagger.
Ooh. Very nice. Well,
Okay.
I mean, the scroll give to Landis. He is the scroll master. Indeed.
All right, I am going to throw our little packet. All right, the dagger. Who would be taking possession of that?
Yeah, I'm good. Both my characters would not be using a dagger.
I'll let Nightingale will hang on to it.
All right. The scroll.
Landis can take that.
The rubies.
Throw those to Lafferty.
Yeah, definitely.
Might be able to use them for. Don't worry, Lieutenant Arden. You'll get some of the coin.
Oh, that's fine. Just helping you was reward enough.
That's beautiful.
Just taking that beating. I don't want anything.
Yeah, his fat lip, his eyes are swollen. No, just being around such greatness.
All right, I will distribute the items. That's great.
Too good, man. Just being around you, folk, makes it
All right,
worthwhile.
each one of you, including the good-hearted
Oh, wow.
Lieutenant Arden, receives
Nice.
18
Well
silver, 37 copper, and 15 gold that you
Nice.
find.
Well earned.
That's pretty sweet right there. That auto populates.
Yes.
And, geez, Lafferty.
Yes.
You immediately are able to identify that this is not a spell scroll.
You mean Landis?
Oh, did Landis get the scroll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing?
I don't feel like I gave it to Landis. Did
Check your inventories.
Yeah, it says Landis on the thing.
I? Okay. Then
Oh, yes.
Landis. This is not a spell scroll.
I will open it up and read it.
Go ahead.
You
Be my
are
guest.
entitled to 3 free beers at. Oh, it's just for free beers.
The Nag's
A
Head.
pig and whistle.
Oh, is that no? So it says, was that Darvel? I
Yep.
have been able to enlist 5 followers from my region. You should expect them to meet you several nights from now. Their names are listed below. I apologize once again. I cannot be there myself. Vanessa. And then it has Lyndon, Isaac, Carmen, Walters, and Avona.
Yeah.
So it's a list of potential dooms.
Do any of the bodies look female?
Yeah, I know. These were all guys.
I will give this scroll to Lieutenant Arden. The Vanguard should be able to do much more with this than myself. Plus,
Definitely.
I've got a photographic memory, so I've already got this filed away. I'll actually copy it down. Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could quickly write the
Yeah.
names in your book.
Yeah.
You're gonna give. Do you want me to give that scroll to Lieutenant Arden?
Sure.
Should be able to
Well,
just
yeah.
shift inventory.
I might be able to just do it myself too, right? Would I be able to just pick
It
up
has
and drop
been
it on?
done.
It duplicated it, so you just need to delete it out of yours.
Well, I could just keep a copy of it.
Yep, sure. I'm good with
There we
that.
go. There we go. Just in
Um,
case down the road we're like, oh, I wish I would have kept that.
Would it show up in their equipment in the inventory?
It should.
It should. Maybe
Should.
it didn't. It didn't move.
It popped up on my, like it came up as a pop-up of what the actual note is, but it didn't. I don't think it went into my inventory.
No, it doesn't look like it did. You probably have to give it to him.
No, I just dropped the pop-up into my inventory. Now it went.
Perfect. Oh yeah, I see that there.
There we go.
Landis gives it to Lieutenant Arden. Perfect. What are we doing?
Can we take a break? Are we
Well,
continuing playing? It's midnight.
Nope, we're at the mark. I was just going to see if any last. This is a good spot to put the brakes on it for the night. If there's nothing that we immediately need to deal with.
Just is the dagger? Does it look like ceremonial in any way?
It just looks very finely crafted,
Okay.
not ceremonial in any way.
Not like some sort of ritual device or something like that.
No, that's not the vibe you get from it.
Okay. Cool.
No, I think all we're going to do is kind of grab what we feel is necessary to take from here and head back with the prisoner, probably.
All right.
And this would probably be a good spot for the Vanguard to put up a camp.
All right, and we'll call that our stop point for the night. Well done, everyone.
Nice.
We survived. We survived.
We made it one more session.
Made it one more session. Absolutely. Yeah, I will sign us off from the stream for the night, and we can. We want to chat a little bit amongst ourselves, we can do so. So thanks, guys. Thanks, Max, for another fantastic night.
I'm here to stay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Lieutenant Arden's going nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that one.
You like this character? We'll see.
All right, guys. I will sign us out.